When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Clear sky. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Clear sky.
Back from the dead.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're all invited to go fucking mental on this motherfucking drop. The countdown has just begun. Are you ready?
back from the dead.
Are you ready?
And now we hope that everything's working. Look at that, we got it. So, after some technical difficulties recently, we got it figured out very well. What will I be playing? So, for anybody who is wondering what our system is that I actually will not be playing anything. My name is TJ. I'm Stuart from Geek Fortress, and I will be providing commentary along with my co-host who is yet to arrive. In which we do commentary over our weekly tournaments, and it is all kinds of fun. So, Mercury, Snake, it is standard tonight. Swaverly, it's great to see you. Tron Beetle, good to see ya. But, it is going to be all kinds of fun. I do know that there are a good amount of players out there. The color is still a little bit odd after having some technical difficulties. However, I should be buying that shiny new camera tomorrow, which I'm very excited about. It's great to see you all. And I can't wait. It's standard. Some sweet things just happened. I did see a sweet new white-red list that was put together by a certain boss. Well, I guess it was not put together by him, but played by him to a pretty sweet finish. Want to see some mono blue prison mirror? It's funny that you talk about that, because yesterday we happened to have a GPT in the shop for standard. And we had 2 of the mono blue prison decks here. Yay. Clearly, you know how I like to play this game. I'm not sure if there is any mono red out there, mostly because I'm in here, but I'll see what I can do. Oh, and it looks like, okay, good, the green screen recovered. Working off of that one, and we should be getting our new camera pretty shortly, and then it's just a matter of working with the amazing David Bradbury to make sure that all of our ducks are in a row. But to Mercury, I don't fully recognize your name. I hope that you are having a great day. We are going to have, I believe, 4 rounds currently, but this is based on an entire guess by me, and sometimes that's just about enough. But should be about 4 rounds of standard. We will be providing some commentary, getting some matches up. Logan should be here in a bit, and then he's going to be in this seat, and I'm going to be in this seat, and he's going to be doing all the buttons and stuff, and we're going to see how he does with that one. Though I'm going to slightly adjust this, and I'm getting a knock, which tells me that the first round might be starting. Hello? How's it going?
How's it going?
What you got for me?
I'm gonna put me and John on.
Okay. Are you on the mono blue?
No.
What are you on?
Abzan Elves.
You're on Abzan Elves, going up against John, who I think I can assume what he's on.
Yeah, he's on ramp.
Okay. So let's go ahead and see that, and then we'll get Logan in here, and we'll jump into the first round. And I guess is the timer about to start?
Yes, it should be starting soon.
Cool. Okay. What?
There wasn't one.
Dang it. Sorry.
It's okay.
I tried.
You live?
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
That's Texas. Not the state, the person. But he's from Texas. Play well.
Oh, I have a match.
Oh, nice. Alright. Well, let's head on down for round 1. It's going to be Abzan Elves on the left in the hands of Coleman Falk, one of our regular co-hosts, going up against the green-red ramp in the hands of John. Should be pretty interesting. Chandra, I think, is going to be a pretty good card against all those elves. See you down there. Okay, Swaverly, is TJ short for something? My first name is Thomas, actually. And I am a junior. Okay. So, Abzan Elves sounds worse than Mardu Elves. My assumption would be that Coleman doesn't play a whole lot of Standard, and I think that he probably threw this together because he really likes Elves in Legacy, and it basically went for the power of Collected Company. So we have an Oath of Nissa grabbing a Cinderglade from John after he plays his turn 1 Forest, and Coleman just going to follow it up with a Forest of his own, but without the sweet Oath of Nissa. So, looks like Coleman doesn't have a turn 1 play. Granted, there aren't a whole lot of them currently. Drops down a second Oath of Nissa. Getting rid of the first one, we see a Kozilek's Return. And John just going for the land. So he could drop down another basic. Wow! Triple Oath of Nissa. Way to go. Mercury, I get a rush from swinging in for a lot of damage. If anybody from the chat wants to mention to Mercury what my particular favorite deck type is, it's always kind of fun when I get to see how much you guys get me. But yeah, I've been known to swing in for damage. Okay. And wow. So John loading up, Coleman with an Eldrazi Displacer. Looking down the... It's an interesting choice there, but I like it. Not a whole lot for it to bounce as of yet, but John is he's in a pretty good spot. He also does have the Chandra in hand, which means that he is a very short bit away from casting the Chandra and essentially stopping, to my knowledge, Coleman's entire game plan. We could see him go for the Tireless Tracker next turn because I don't think he'll have the ability to cast it. So we might see him go for... Oh, and it looks like he's not going for that one this turn. Maybe just going to have the double red. And we're going to go into a Hadron Archive, into a Tireless Tracker. Decided to sequence it that way as opposed to the other. You don't get the clue token, but you do get a... I mean, the Hadron Archive ain't bad. We get a swing in and just a trade from Coleman, who, possibly a little aggressive there, drops down a Westvale Abbey, and John losing his Tireless Tracker, not something that he's going to be particularly minding. Coleman does have a Collected Company, which he's intending to cast this next turn. John now does have a World Breaker as well, so he's got a lot of tools for controlling this game. We could see him, if he drops a Chandra, that might be, I like this, playing around the Collected Company. Which I actually really like, because if he had dropped that Chandra, then he was leaving himself open to Coleman returning. And it looks like Coleman has got more than one Collected Company in hand, so he's going to be dropping down a lot of creatures. Coming up soon. I forgot to start the timer. Dang it. Let's go ahead and start it there. We'll call that good. So, an Eldrazi Displacer and an Elvish Visionary coming in. And Logan is joining me, which means that we are going to be trading sides.
Hello.
We can trade sides between games. How about that?
Yeah. So there you know.
Hey,
I'm you. Kind of.
You will be me today. You
What do we
will
got?
be. We have got Green Red Ramp going against Coleman on Abzan Elves. John has
Okay.
got a Chandra in hand, which is a pretty good card in this situation.
Yeah.
Especially since Coleman got his Westvale Abbey hit by the World Breaker, so he can't go with the other Collected Companies that are in his hand.
Jeez. He's also stuck at 3, so he's got like a displacer and that's it.
Yep. So, and this is the situation where on John's next turn, I really want to see him cast down the Chandra. This is the opening that he has, to where he can wipe that field, and Coleman isn't going to be able to get the Abzan Company at the end step to then swing in at it.
Yeah. Chandra -3 will wipe Coleman's field, but if he has a World Breaker, that might just be better, because then keeping him off 4 mana, like,
That's big.
Coleman can't deal with a 5/7 right now.
No, and taking out the Caves of Koilos, it cuts him entirely off of white mana as well.
Yeah.
The best answer is probably humans to Mercury.
For aggro?
For, no, building a tribal deck in Standard.
Yes.
Humans
Human
is
tribal
probably
is
your
really
best bet. Humans are really good right now.
So you see John automatically minusing Chandra to wipe Coleman's board.
I mean, if Elves is in the name, you should probably consider wiping their field. Just as a little guide.
Yeah. It's usually a good idea.
So Coleman down to 14, and John starting to take over this game.
Coleman, his best bet is to just cast Collected Company, see what he gets. I'm not sure what he can get, though, to get out of this. Probably because I don't know it in his deck, but from just thinking through all the elves in Standard, there's not a lot of, like, elf things that can deal with this right now.
There's nothing that's gonna, like, I mean, he could maybe flash them in, take down the Chandra if John swings out, but it's, oh, that's a pretty sweet Ulamog.
Is he the mana for it? 1, 2,
No,
3,
he's
4,
got
5,
8
6,
right
7,
now.
8.
He's got 8 at the moment. It's definitely not outside of his realm in the next, because he's got 1 land in hand.
He might also just 0 Chandra, pitch those, draw 3, or 4, as it looks
could
like.
be an interesting...
'Cause if he hits a World Breaker, or just another Chandra.
Right, and if he goes for the plus, which it looks like he might be going for, I mean, that's still a huge amount of damage represented, to where you're swinging in for 11. Coleman going down to 3 is no joke.
Yeah.
Or Coleman
Something.
has to throw some creatures in the way, and you're either toss him in front of a 5/7, which you're not going to win that.
No.
Or you're toss him in front of tokens, which, again, you're not really winning so much as
No.
you're just surviving.
Trading with a token that's about to leave the field anyways always feels pretty bad.
It's like lightning bolting a spirit token from Lingering Souls. It's just, and an explosive veggie. I can see why he
Guaranteed.
kept that Ulamog. So,
Just guaranteeing he's going to hit Ulamog next turn.
yes.
So pretty much whatever Coleman hits is almost dead guaranteed to this Ulamog.
Uh-huh.
But also, like, anything that's an X2 also just dies to Chandra.
Yep. Which just enables the swing in with the World Breaker.
Yeah.
Snake, I absolutely dig it. I would not at all blame you if you just use an Arlen Cord as your commander. I would in fact allow it, though I don't play a ton of EDH, and I'm not sure if you're local. So
Yeah.
that may not help you a lot, but maybe it's a plus.
One commander I see people do instead of werewolves is Xenagos the Reveler, or the God.
Oh, the God of Rebels.
Xenagos. He's pretty good at it.
He's decent. He's decent, and werewolves do like to party.
Haste and big is no joke.
Yeah, I have heard a lot about werewolf parties. Mostly they were theme parties thrown by high schoolers back when Twilight was popular. But still, I hear they were awesome. So Shaman of the Pack coming out, along with a Dwynen's Elite, going to be getting a third creature, which is going to be decent. But again, this is the situation in which, unless Coleman finds some kind of way to apply... I mean, the Chandra will likely die.
Yeah. The reason Coleman wasn't able to kill a Chandra with the Shaman of the Pack
It's life loss.
is life loss, and you can't redirect life loss, only damage.
Right, I'm thinking the swing back here, since John is...
Yeah, since he is
Essentially,
a tapped out.
And I would likely swing at the Dwynen's Elite just to take down the Chandra, because otherwise you're automatically dead from
Yeah.
a -2.
Yeah, you just minus 2 and then swing.
So you have to answer that Chandra right now. Or you have to play something from your board that's actually going to...
He might.
plus it up.
He might main phase, because he said he's got another company in his hand, right? He could main phase another company, see what he hits, and see what happens with that, and then make his decision from there. Yes, it's not as good as an instant speed one, just in case. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you gotta know what you're gonna hit first before you make your decision.
Snake 7, I'll see you in Portland come August. I'll be down there for the GP.
Me too.
Hey. Nice.
Team standard.
Displacer does bounce the Shaman of the Pack, and that might be what Coleman was going for with this entire deck concept.
Yeah.
And
Black
it also
Elves.
bounces the Dwynen's Elite, and it also bounces Elvish Visionary.
All of the elves
What are we looking
have
at there?
good enter the battlefield stuff.
That's an old art, and I don't know, but apparently... is that the elf that looks at the top 4?
Coleman, what is that?
That's
Sylvan
what it
Messenger.
Sweet old art.
Hey, dude.
I want to hug you guys. Me
Sorry.
too.
Hey,
So-
man.
Okay, I assume you guys are doing something?
Yep.
Okay.
Extremist.
Talk to you there.
But that was our good pal Dean. He's great. He's a great guy. He's always up for hugs. It's
He's
fantastic.
always up for hugs.
I didn't know Sylvan Messenger was a reprint. That's cool though.
I did, but I don't recognize the old art for it. In your opinion, Mercury, you should check us out on Wednesdays and Saturdays, where you can see Modern twice a week here on Geek Fortress, where
Funny
the
things
streamers
happen.
are TJ and...
Logan.
Yay!
I don't stream Modern very often.
No, that's true, but
I prefer standard.
that's okay. Fine, I'll almost always be here, and someone else will often be here. Though we look a lot alike.
We do look a lot.
It's interesting. Well, people won't even know once we've switched.
So Coleman took down Chandra. John cashed in his artifact to draw a couple cards. And he just drew 2 Kozilek's returns. So
Cast them both.
he only has to cast 1.
No, show them.
I've got you dead 3 different ways.
Cast it, and then on the stack, cast it again.
Jeez.
Dominance is important.
So that was game 1?
That was game 1.
Okay. So
So-
now we have sideboards.
Yep. And we also have... Hold on. We're gonna do a little bit of thing.
Oh,
this is
ready
gonna
for
be a thing.
Ready for the switcheroo?
Alright, let's do it.
Oh, hey, that's mine. Okay.
You're now our button pusher, Logan.
Oh, I'm pushing buttons.
Oh, yeah.
You guys are seeing progress.
So Logan is going to be working through this. Be considerate.
Be kind. I'm still learning.
Exactly, and I'm going to help him through it because.
But tell me
Logan-
when I mess up.
True.
Please don't, like, Just be quiet when I mess up. Tell me.
And
That's
Full
how I
Metal, it's great to see you. Gotta say, it's weird to be on this side of the... it is.
Welcome to the rest of us.
Man, there's so much leg room.
Is that a Sorin in John's sideboard? That's cool. Because he's got the Oath of Nissa, so if it's a Planeswalker, he can cast it anyways, no matter what it is.
On.
That's great for control.
This isn't modern Tron. You can't just throw a Nicol Bolas into
Yeah, you can.
Apparently.
You have Oath of Nissa, yeah, throw a Planeswalker in there. Why not?
Support Logan.
Hashtag, thank you, Mercury.
Mercury, you're brand new to the stream, and already you're doing
I'm
gloriously
gonna
cool things.
hashtag support Mercury.
Oh, look at you responding.
Yeah.
Man, normally you won't often have time. Normally it'll just be verbal communication.
Or both.
You're responding on point now.
So I didn't see what John brings in, but I'm imagining it's more Kozilek's returns and more World Breakers.
Mm-hmm.
If he doesn't have a full Chandra, he's bringing every Chandra he has into 75 into his main now.
And anything that hates creatures will likely be coming in.
Fiery Impulse is probably coming in. Atarka is a big one that comes in. Atarka is better than Ulamog in this case, just because Atarka can kill 3 creatures. Ulamog can only hit 2. As far as Coleman, I'm imagining some removal spells, probably a...
He's on Abzan Declaration in Stone if it's not in the main.
Declaration of Stone would be a big one. Ruinous Path is another good one because it can kill either a giant fatty or a Chandra.
And
It
a
can
Chandra.
kill Chandra. Or it can kill Ulamog.
Yeah.
Ulamog's indestructible.
I thought Ruinous Path did Exile.
Damage. Or no, destroy.
Which one does Exile?
Declaration of Stone.
No, I was thinking of Anguished Unmaking.
That one's black-white.
I'm the worst. Hey,
Oh,
check it out.
please,
You're
Exile.
adorable.
Aww.
Yay! Love it. Full Metal, we're doing great. Are you doing great?
I'm having a blast.
Yeah, it's such a good time. I had work today. We've had some beautiful weather, which was frankly a touch too hot for me. Today was glorious, but
It was great today.
Yesterday was a spicy meatball of a day.
It was so hot. I'm so glad I was inside most of the day yesterday.
Yeah, you were playing in our GPT, in which you came in
4th.
technically 3rd/4th.
After the standings I saw. So
Oh,
close enough. Whatever. We had between 25 and 30 people.
yeah. What's up with people not sleeving sideboard cards on the stream? I have to. It's the strangest thing. I don't know because most of them don't, but we apparently put them on stream every time.
Every time.
I love it though. It really shows their passion for the game because they're willing to put some cards at risk. It's like I love you, so I have to let you go. It's like a butterfly sideboard. If it comes back undamaged, it's it's meant to be.
You gotta let it go, and if it comes back, then it's good.
Oh man!
You click disc party. There's no red button on here.
Now, if you'd like, you can hit full chat instead of show card, and it'll get rid of that Sylvan Messenger.
Oh hey,
Which isn't super relevant anymore.
I remember you telling me that, and I just forgot.
That's okay. Look at that. You nailed it.
I've learned.
Look at this guy go. Man. It's good to have you.
Good to be here. So here we're going into game 2. Coleman's going to be on the play. The biggest thing for Coleman is he's going to probably try to get under John. I don't think he's going to try and combo out because late game John just has a better game plan than him. Unfortunately, John has the Kozilek's return in his hand already. So
Nice.
it's pretty rough.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a pretty solid curve here, though.
Yeah, it's
He's
all
got
going to die on turn 3.
It's a Gnarlroot Trapper.
Mhm.
Gnarlroot Trapper, as well as the Beast Caller.
Yep. Bunch of mana dorks.
Bunch of mana. And actually, we can see him go for like a turn 3 Collected Company. And granted, he would want to save it. But if John is going to... The problem is that it's an instant speed board wipe against an instant speed board
Yeah.
rebuild.
Yeah.
And whoever fires it first
Loses.
is going to be punished.
Mm-hmm. It's just if John has a second one. But, like, in the meantime of him building his mana base, he gets to do it because it's only 3 mana.
Yeah.
Like, you can cast the artifact that gives you 2 lands, and then just with a single red mana, cast it off that.
Or actually, we might just see him use the Fiery Impulse, maybe, if he's got other things that he wants to do with his mana, because he's got a Chandra at the top. So if you're not under a whole lot of pressure, why not build up to that point,
That's
wipe
true.
the board? Like, I think that as it currently sits, okay, getting rid of the Displacer might be a little bit different, though. I mean, it's a 3/3,
Yeah.
which means that the... but we might see him
It
actually fire
lives
off the
through.
Fiery Impulse at that one.
Possibly, yeah.
So John going down to 19.
The Impulse has to have Spell Mastery in order to deal 3, though. Otherwise, it's just a shock. Oh. Sorry. I'm learning.
Far left. You got it.
Boom. Got it.
Oh man.
Is John stuck on lands here, or is he just doing this first? He might be stuck on lands.
He might be, but I don't actually disagree with going with the Oath of Nissa first. But it looks like he might be because he dropped that down pretty quick.
Yeah, so he's probably not going to fire off the Return to Kozilek unless he's in dire need.
No, and this is Coleman's best case scenario.
Well, one problem with Coleman is he doesn't have his 4th mana. The Gnarl Trapper can only cast elf spells.
Lame.
So, Coleman's stuck at... Actually, even the Beastcaller Savant can only cast creatures. So, as far as Collected Company goes, he only has 2 mana. Lone Dryad will help, though. Lone Dryad.
Okay.
So Coleman's going wide here, and he kind of has to because he's only stuck at 2 lands. If he wants to get the higher end, the really meat of his deck, he has to get to 4 mana.
The Lone Dryad helps.
The Lone Dryad helps a lot, yes, but the problem with it is that if he goes too much, John can just decide to kill everything.
I mean, yeah.
Outside of the Displacer.
Right now he can.
It looks like John is going to do that.
And then probably just going to go for hitting the Displacer at his convenience now.
Mm-hmm. One thing I would have liked to see John do is block the Displacer and then cast it, or at least let damage happen.
Just to take a little bit less.
He would have still taken damage from the other creatures hitting him, but he would have been able to kill off the Displacer. So he'd be...
Total board parity.
Actually, it'd be the same thing, because he would have taken 3 from the other guys.
Right, but then Coleman wouldn't have a Displacer.
Yeah.
Which is significant.
Yes.
So it takes down the Naru Trapper of all... Oh, okay, that's fine. Okay, I was like, that throws me for a bit. Mercury, if you ever do have any questions, ask them. We do our best trying to describe everything, but sometimes it's hard to know what some people are just don't realize. So If you have questions, ask them. Either ourselves or the chat can help you out.
Absolutely.
We're all about interaction here. Okay.
John's still stuck at 3, which is pretty big. Coleman hit his 3rd land, which is good. He's just going to start making dudes.
I mean, knocking him down to 15 with the Elvish Visionary. And
that was subtle.
Thank you. And Dwynen's Elite coming down to make another elf token.
Then they're just instantly killed with Return to Kozilek. So
Yay.
John hits his 4th land. He's finally able to cast Explosive Vegetation.
And
puts him
John
up to
is taken
6.
with a Chandra available.
Yep.
Suddenly, John's looking like he's in a pretty good spot.
Yep. Meanwhile, Coleman's playing 2 mana 1/1 hastes.
Hey, I'm all about haste.
Yeah, but you're casting double with no upside.
I'm normally all about 1 mana 2/2s with haste, but still, haste is haste.
You know what would be cool to see John cast right now?
What would be cool?
A Sorin.
A Sorin? You're not wrong. You're 100% right, but that's wrong.
It'd be so cool.
It would be the coolest.
It's definitely just going to be... he might cast Worldbreaker, actually, putting him down to 2 lands. Yeah, because now he can block.
And take
He's
out.
only at 2 lands.
Ooh. Hard questions. If you had a 0/0 Death Touch with Indestructible, how would that work? The 0/0 would be put into your... It would die because of state-based actions. A creature with 0 toughness cannot survive.
It no longer has life, therefore it cannot live.
And the 0/1 with Death Touch wouldn't kill anything because it's not dealing any damage, which would actually... Because Death Touch requires that it says that any amount of damage is lethal damage.
Doesn't
But
deal
if it-
damage.
If it deals no damage, being 0, which is a 0 amount, then it wouldn't actually kill anything upon any kind of interaction with it.
Yep.
So we'll...
Coleman plays a Shaman of the Pack, hits John for 2. Meanwhile, John is just playing the Worldbreaker he tutored for earlier. He's probably going to blow up the forest.
I actually might.
Okay.
Just keeping them off of a color is pretty big.
Yeah, but
No.
also making it to where all of their lands hurt them. Like, that can get pretty big. I guess he is hitting in increments of 5, so it doesn't matter.
Right, like a 5/7 will do some damage no matter how you...
Yeah.
And beautiful. Look at that.
So, Chandra, -2,
And
scoop phase.
John's going to take it in 2, and this means that this is one of the first times I ever get to have this job. I get
He's
to
going to go
find
look
another match.
for a new game.
Which
new
means
match.
that you get to put our names up on there. You'll be the one on the left, and I'll be the one on the right. And then, when we go to do the transition, I will mysteriously disappear and find us another match.
Okay.
And then you will get to talk to people about cool things that come to your mind. And
You want to help me do this again real quick?
just go ahead and just start typing Logan.
This is Coleman, so it wouldn't be you. Oh no, it's backwards.
Yeah.
Look at me, I'm still learning.
Okay. Excellent. And that would be me. I'm TJ.
Hi.
Yeah, hi. Hi.
Nice to meet you.
And that would be I'm not sure if we have... it has to be the at first.
Oh, that's
Yep.
right.
Yep.
Look at me. Hey guys, nice to meet you all. My name is Logan, and I am learning how to run a stream.
Perfect. And then it'll be...
You are Red Baron.
There we go. So then... Then as you go, before hitting save, you'll want to head into the video transition, and then hit save while it's in the middle, and then do full video once it comes to the end of that.
Got it.
Yep. See you there.
All right, welcome back. It is just me, no TJ. I am running it. Haha. He is out fighting another match. But if you are new here, welcome. We stream 4 times a week. We do standard on Monday. We start that at 6:30, which you're here right now. We do modern on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Wednesdays at 7, I believe, and Saturdays at 6. And then we do legacy on Fridays at 7, I believe. It's welcome. If you have any questions for me, please feel free to ask me anything and everything you have. Questions, queries, comments, posers, anything and everything. I am here to answer anything. Logan, what do you think if Hoogland's Abzan Season Pass deck? I haven't seen an Abzan Seasons Pass. I only know of the green-black control version. I do know that Seasons Pass is one of the stronger card advantage spells in Standard right now. If you're able to hit 5 things with it, it's incredibly powerful, and then it going to the bottom of your deck is probably the most busted thing about it. So did you find another match for us?
I did. On the left will be Sean, and then S-E-A-N. E-A-N. Wrong. Still wrong. Good. S-E-A-N.
I did that. S-E-A-N.
And then S. Perfect.
Okay. Who's he playing against?
Mason. And then Sean is on a green-black control. I'm going up against Mason, who is on Jund. And Mason has the Game 1 win. They're heading into Game 2, and they're currently moving over. I'll keep my eyes open and let you know when they are.
All right.
Okay, what did I miss?
You missed us talking about Jeff Hoogland's Abzan Seasons Past.
Nice.
So,
Wait, Carl, it's great to see you. I'm kicking you 2 out, by the way.
Oh, how dare you? No.
so we're actually hopefully going to get to see Seasons Past in action. And you guys get to see why it's ridiculous.
I did see Get Rock Frog in there. I did see Crawling Sensation was in there.
Okay, that's the one that gives you an insect whenever
Whenever
a
land-
land hits your graveyard.
Yes.
Card sweep. I once saw a guy in drafts build a deck that was based around milling himself completely, but he had an infinite combo to make sure he didn't mill himself out.
Uh-huh.
But he got to do it in a way where he was essentially tutoring anything, putting it on the bottom of his deck, and then drawing it right away.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty cool.
That is pretty neat. I'm really excited. And actually, I do agree. Hoogan's been pretty awesome.
Yeah.
He was good to us. He was. It's great to see everybody. Did you let him know what times that we stream?
Yes, I did.
Beautiful. Did you say that it was Pacific time?
Yes, I did.
Oh.
Oh, no, not Pacific. I did the specific time.
The specific time, which is Pacific time.
Yes.
Nice. Look at you go. And did you tell him about our sweet event next Saturday?
I did not.
Next Saturday when we're having the Legacy Showdown, in
that's
which
right.
multiple players can show up and do a battle to the finish across multiple rounds, including a top 8. They can fight, they can battle, they can use some of the most powerful spells that are available, and then when they get to the final, the top 8, the triumphant victor, will come away with 1 box of Eternal Masters with a variety of other prizes going to other participants. It should be a blast, it should be a lot of streaming, and I've realized that I'm going to be streaming for about 11 hours that day.
That does not sound fun.
We will be starting at noon Pacific time. It's outside of our normal stream schedule. And as we go through that top 8, Modern will start during it. And then we will just switch right over to Modern. And I will have no life that
No
day.
prep time.
It will be noon until probably about 11 p.m. Yeah.
Isn't this guy great?
I can't wait, but I'm intimidated.
It does sound like it's going to be pretty fun, but it's going to be a long day either way.
Oh.
I'm glad I'm not going to be back here.
No kidding. Alright, and it looks like they are just starting to get settled in, so I will let you know when, but we should be jumping down into another match fairly shortly.
Yeah.
And let me know when they're good to go. Thank you. Coleman is going to let me know when they're good to go.
Sweet. So the winner of that event gets a box of Eternal Masters.
Yes.
So speaking of Eternal Masters,
Speaking of Eternal Masters,
what are 2 of your favorite cards in the set?
Price of Progress and Chain Lightning.
Okay, I guess that wasn't very hard.
Do you want to add a third? Sulfuric Vortex.
Non-red.
Oh, come on.
It's too easy if I just say red.
If we're going to go non-red.
Non-red.
Ooh, man. See, we're getting an HD camera, by the way, and it's because of this. The current...
Yeah.
We've been having a little bit of trouble with our current camera. Either that or you're bumping the green screen a bunch while leaning back. I'm on the wrong side. It's because Logan's trying to run it today.
I'm learning.
Oh, and it looks like they are starting to get ready, so if you want to head on down,
See you there.
we'll see you down there.
All
Look at
right, here
that.
we go.
Nailed it. So, I'm not on the wrong side. Coleman's out there. Logan.
Yeah, I am learning. I am the one learning how to do all this so that when he's not here or just can't for whatever reason, I can be here to help out.
Exactly. It's going to be all kinds of fun. Plus, we look similar, and we thought you wouldn't notice.
A little bit. He's got the similar sideburns as me.
Yeah, you've just got a bit more fullness to the facial hair and fullness to the top of your head.
A little bit more.
And it's just like I maybe you, like 3 weeks previously.
Probably.
Yeah.
There's a really old picture of us just swapping like our jacket and our glasses of the day, like, and we looked pretty.
Your boss is in the chat.
Oh, really?
He's such a sweet boy.
Yeah, it's where I work. It's my normal day job when I'm not playing Magic.
So we're gonna have Sean on the play. Now, when you look at a green-black control deck, which you probably want to put a slash between the G and the B, when you have a green-black control deck going up against Jund, how do you feel about this one? Because you have the green-black one probably has a lot more consistency than what Mason has available to him, right?
Yes. Mason is definitely the aggressor here, especially his style of deck. Mason's more of an aggressive Jund deck.
Mm-hmm.
He's mainboarding Era, Falconwrath, and Olivia's. He does have the big end, but it's a little less than some of the other Jund decks that try to play Dragonlord Kolaghan or Get Rock Monster.
Mm-hmm. And Sean's removal suite is just pretty nice. I mean, he's got the full set of Grasp of Darkness. He's got Languishes in the main board. And say what you will about Languish decks, Languish itself is a pretty good card right now.
Yep. It's the reason I lost yesterday.
Yep.
I got Languish 3 times in a single game. It was not fun. But if Sean is able to just do his game plan of just removal spell, transgress the mind,
Get Rock Monster.
duress, and then top it off with a Get Rock Monster, it's going to be really hard for Mason to come back from that.
I love the Get Rock Frog. The Get
He's
Rocked
very
Frog.
good. He's slow, but if he's left unchecked for 2 or 3 turns, he will take over the game.
So, Mason leading off with a tapped land leading into Sean, who's going into his turn 2.
Proving that I said he is an aggro deck.
Yeah, there's red in it. That's the proof. That's all the proof you need.
No, but Mason's hand is Olivia. It looks like 2 Devouring Flames, a Chandra, and a bunch of lands.
That's
so proving that he's the aggro deck, like I said.
Of sorts. Maybe a little bit of a different hand than what you would prefer. Sean actually just putting down a force and passing it back, however.
Mm-hmm.
Rivet Ramp? Yes.
Ooh.
That's actually hilarious.
That's a great deck.
I'm going to have to talk to that. I'm going to talk to someone about making that a thing.
Can I use that?
Okay. Abrupt Decay, thanks for stopping by. We appreciate your enthusiasm about the material.
I don't.
Well, I can appreciate the enthusiasm, even if not particularly...
He's got passion.
Passion.
Mono blue.
We had 2 of them yesterday.
Yeah, we did. That deck was so much fun to watch.
But
It's so cool.
I'm sure there might be one out there.
So, Sean's just not doing anything again on turn 3. And if this Olivia sticks, Mason's going to be able to do some damage with it.
I mean,
Sean lets it go.
He has a Grasp of Darkness, but I don't think that he has a second Black Source.
If he doesn't, this Olivia's going to hurt him big time. Pardon me.
That's okay.
If you notice, I'm chugging water to try and prevent this. But Sean doing a Traverse the Open Wall to go get a second Black Source.
Nice.
hopefully he does that on his main phase. I'd like to see him do it on his main phase so that Mason doesn't get the chance to play something. But if Sean has a Languish in his hand, I don't know if we saw it or not, then he could use Olivia to try and get a 2-for-1. Because if Mason plays a card and then discards a card and it's still less than a 4/4, and Sean's able to kill it, it's a really good 2-for-1.
Mm-hmm. Takes it out with during the main phase, which I do think is the better play there. Okay. Abrupt Cake, you sound like the best kind of person.
So we go Mason playing Tireless Tracker.
A very popular card with him. That card actually slipped out of his standard deck and into his modern deck for a bit.
Yeah, he's been liking the Defender card a lot, which reminds me I'm borrowing one from him.
Oh, good to know.
But, yeah, it's just been crushing standard. It's a good card, but Sean has an Evolving Wild, so he's getting 2 tokens.
Totally one-upping him. So, Mason, interestingly enough, just to provide some fun facts, is actually mixing up his zoo list. Last time I heard, he's building Burning Zoo.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. M is for Modern Mondays. Maybe one day. Tilting with the mismatch basics.
Gosh, oh my gosh. So I actually built my own deck the other day. I built my own Jund deck, and I had all full art basics with me except for mountains, and I had to get 2 non-full art mountains in my deck. It was just I haven't changed it just because I haven't, but it's been something.
Hodor's back. I love it. Abrupt Cake, thank you so much. Though it's Wednesday and Saturday, not Sunday.
I don't want to be here Sunday.
Blighted Fen coming down. It is going to be. I mean, it can technically take care of the Tireless Tracker, but you know, a Fiery Temper will do that pretty as well.
Yeah.
So Sean left with nothing, just going for a swing for 3 and knocking Sean down to 17. That's our first blood of the match in turn 5. Both of these decks are trying very hard to play the control game. I think Sean is probably better suited for it, but Mason does have that Chandra in hand, which
very good.
If Sean doesn't have the, that
Ruinous Path.
If he doesn't have the Ruinous Path in hand, that Chandra's going to do a lot of work.
Yeah.
So,
as it is right now, this Tireless Tracker is actually getting a lot of work. It's threatening to just be a big problem on its own, because if Mason has 4 mana, yeah, I'll draw 2 cards and give my creature +2/+2 permanently.
Yeah, or he could just do it now, really.
Yeah.
I mean, likely at Sean's end step, he could just go for it, crack it into a 4/3. Definitely not a bad play there.
Mm-hmm. And then if Mason has another removal spell for any blockers that Sean might have, this Tireless Tracker will be a 5/4. That's not small. EDH deck with all non-matching basics. Ugh.
You're the best. Honestly, that's what I used to do, just because I played with what I had. Sadistic, it's great to see you.
Welcome.
Mercury, we use Tapped Out here at Geek Fortress.
Pardon me.
That's okay. No one can tell. You're off screen when it happens. They probably have no idea what's happening.
It's a rabbit in the forest.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I thought that looked like a dude.
We're on Innistrad. Anything's possible. Frogs are giant. Rabbits are coughing.
Who is this guy?
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Moving on.
You're okay. So Mason's just cracking a clue, making his Tireless Tracker bigger. If he's got a removal spell, but even if he doesn't, he could just play Chandra, minus it for 1, which only kills the Deathcap Cultivator. And then he's got a Chandra on the table and a massive Tireless Tracker. Either way, that's huge.
That's pretty big. I mean, it at least gives you the opportunity to get out into a nice swing for 4. Mason separating the permanents.
Yeah.
Always intimidating when your opponent goes, I'm going to make some room.
I'm going to need this space. Something's going here. Yep, and there she is. He's probably just going to -1.
You know, I could see an argument for the +1 and just swinging it that way. I don't want to see it. But
Yeah.
I could see him going for that option, but I do agree that the minus.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then just meanwhile, just hit you for 4, putting him down to 13.
Yep. Sadistic, we are pretty close to just starting. We are in, actually, this is our second match of round 1, but we are still in round 1 of, I believe, 4.
Yeah.
So, all kinds of fun to be had. That Chandra is threatening a lot of damage.
Yeah.
And I don't see a Ruinous Path in Sean's hand. That doesn't mean that there isn't one, because those black... I have one complaint, by the way, about Innistrad.
Okay.
Which is that so many of the arts are just dark.
Yeah.
It was not
It's
a
a
whole
dark
lot of
place.
distinct. It is, but I would have liked to see a little bit more accenting features. because from the perspective of like spot identification of cards, it did become a little bit tricky.
Mm-hmm. Things should get lighter whenever we figure out what's plaguing Innistrad and deal with it. I don't know if we're going to deal with it or not.
True, we might have. It'll certainly be illuminating to have some answers.
Have you looked at? Hold on. Have you looked at the art for the basic lands from the original Innistrad set?
I have. And how they match up to the new ones? Or the Avacyn ones.
For all three of them. So the original Innistrad, there was just like art, and then for Dark Ascension, they got like darker. So if it was a swamp, you maybe saw like a zombie hand coming out of the ground. And then for Avacyn Restored, it was like those places have been purified. It's cool. Like they're visibly brighter on the cards.
Mm-hmm.
So Mason playing a Nissa, getting a 7th land. He's going to play that land right away, flip over a Nissa. And now he's got a Chandra and a Nissa Planeswalker in play. And meanwhile, Sean has no way to kill a Planeswalker. Not good for Sean.
I mean, really, what he could do is play a spell that is 1 mana and gets him 5/1/1 tokens, right? And then you activate the Westvale Abbey, swinging at Chandra. Easy.
He's not playing white.
Ah,
He doesn't have Secure the Waste.
dang it. Okay, calling it Dat Boy Ramp might actually be enough for me to build that deck. I might have my deck. If they don't print me a Tybalt, I know what I want to play at GP Portland.
I will build it. So Mason plussing, hitting him for 6, putting him down to 7.
And Matt, thank you. I do appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. So, Nissa, it's the Awakened Animist, right? What?
Yep.
Is that, yeah?
Yeah.
Man, they have a card called Animist Awakening and Awakened Animist? That's super annoying.
I'm pretty sure it's a Awakened Animist. Hi, I'm going to find it.
Sage Animist.
Sage Animist.
Sage Animist. Much like the Spice, which goes really great on chicken and Chicken Alfredo. By the way, I did
How do
eat that
you
Tybalt.
flip?
Oh, it's actually just at the bottom of the page. You just got to go down a little bit and then use the bar to balance
Oh,
it
hey, there
right
it
in there.
is.
Yep.
That's annoying.
Boom. It's so close. It's so close.
Look, I can do better.
Okay. So, a 2 the Slaughter coming down for Sean. Not a bad choice. Which one do you sacrifice? Like, snap decision. I'm
Nissa.
saying I get rid of the Nissa.
Your opponent says 7, and you have a Chandra in play.
Right. You could draw a bunch of cards.
Or you could kill them.
I love red cards.
Yeah. Is Jund the most expensive deck in Modern?
Standard is actually what they asked.
Standard, sorry.
Probably not. White decks are really expensive right now.
Yeah, probably Band's Company is up there.
Blue-white is probably expensive.
Yeah, but there's not a lot of blue-white decks. Oh, there... I haven't seen a Nihiri standard deck.
Mm-hmm.
The closest I've seen is a Jeskai Nihiri deck, and it's fairly lacking because you don't have something to power out with Nihiri.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you got Ulamog, but, I mean, 10-10, mill 20. Okay, go.
So, clear board on both sides. Now, Mason does have the Hissing Quagmire, which is going to be nice. So, he can actually knock Sean down to 5.
Chase decks.
If he... Ooh, and Cletus is really nice.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's tapping in a way that I wouldn't like. I really want him to use that...
Quagmire.
Yeah.
I don't think he's got other black
for
mana,
5.
though. Huh?
Does it activate for 4 or for 5? Oh, he
3.
may not have other black mana.
It's 3 mana.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I meant to say 3 or 4. I was including the land in my
This
math.
card's so good, it's only 3!
Yeah.
Declarations and Swords, yeah. It might just be black-white control.
Oh, that one's probably... Because you have Kalidas in there too as well.
So Traverse is going to go get a creature this time. I'd be very surprised if he didn't just grab a Gitrog monster.
He can't... Oh, no, he can cast it and it'll at least get in the way of it. That's
He
not
might
great.
also get a... Oh, I'm blanking on the name of the card. It's the Flying Demon. 4/5 flying, mill yourself for 4.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one.
I think the problem here is that if I'm Mason at that point, then I'm just going to start swinging with the Death Toucher. Because if they try and get in the way of it, great. You just got a 2/2 zombie.
Sweet. Upgraded my land into a 2/2 that I don't have to pay mana to activate.
Exactly. And that's even if Mason has nothing else in hand, which he's
Yeah.
sitting there with 4 cards in hand. Mindwreck Demon.
Mindwreck Demon.
Man, the
Thank you,
chat is...
Spleen. Spleen IOP.
Thanks, Fortnites.
Mind Crack. Mind Wreck. Mind Wreck. Yeah, that card wrecked me over the weekend.
The Mink Wreck.
Mink Wreck?
Yeah.
How many different names can we come up with this?
I
Sink
mean,
Wreck.
it depends on how like literal we're gonna be.
So I didn't see what Sean got.
I see a Thought-Knot Seer in his
Did you
hand.
get a thought, not sir? You should have to reveal.
That's super sweet if it is. I love Thought Not Seer.
It does block Elitis, and he can rip a card out of Mason's hand. So something like a removal spell.
The Metarex Demon. Would Deflecting Poem be a good sideboard card against Storm? No, you only hit one iteration of the card Grape Shot, which means that you'll stop 1 damage and deal that back to them, which is great. And if you're at 20 and they hit you for exactly 20, you'll survive.
You're not dead.
But otherwise, not great.
The mine get wrecked.
No, it's theirs that get wrecked.
Yeah.
Demon. And we have got To the Slaughter.
I'm kind of surprised Mason didn't cast To the Slaughter in response. But it looks like he's got 2 of them, so I don't think it matters.
The interesting thing is, like, if he had cast To the Slaughter in response, he would actually draw the card, and then Simon would get... Or Sean.
But then he can guarantee being able to kill.
I
There's
mean,
nothing worse than your opponent taking your only way to deal with a Thought Not Seer out of your hand. So I'd rather just kill it while you can, and then just let them exile whatever.
That's a very reasonable point. 9 mana for Mason.
Doesn't do that, though.
What a grind fest this game is. So,
Can Mason just kill him? Because if he's got a way to kill Thought Not Seer, he gets a
and
zombie.
activate
He can pay
it.
3 to activate it. Can he activate Hissing Quagmire after that?
No.
Because that'd be enough damage if he's got the mana for it.
I think if he hasn't played a land yet this turn, then he might be able to do it exactly. Ready
If
for
he
you to
can
come
kill
back
it
from
in 2
what?
mana.
We should still be here.
Oh, he's got Devouring Flames. He should be able to. So 3 mana, Devouring Flames. Kill your guy, bounce a land.
Return a land. And you have the... So he has a kill on board. It's does he see it?
Yeah. And for those of you that don't know what Devouring Flames is...
Oh, see it, Mason. See it, Mason. I know you're watching this later. Yes. Go for it. Mason!
Got it!
Nice.
Swing 7.
The real Rasputin, it's good to see ya. And that is going
Got
to be
round
that
1.
one. We've got 5 minutes left, which means that it's unlikely that we've got another match up.
Probably not. You want to
So,
go check?
what?
You want to go check?
Anything that moves over, they wouldn't have really time to even play
That's
a
right.
game. So, we're likely going to be moving in pretty shortly. Now, Gideon with a question. You have a question about the waste mechanic. Can you use any mana that produces only colorless, or do you need a land that produces the said symbol? Fun fact, the answer is both. All colorless mana symbols, as far as producing, have been since errated to produce that symbol. So that is now the colorless mana symbol.
Yep.
So you have to use it with colorless mana, but like a Soul Ring now is errated to say tap, add the colorless
Diamond.
color, like the diamond. So yes, but also no.
Yeah.
So hopefully that was a little bit helpful. The biggest thing that changed is that there is now a difference between colorless mana and generic mana, as far as symbols go, because they were always different, but now they're separate, separate from a visual standpoint.
Yeah.
Hey, David's in the chat.
Well, they didn't...
No, it's only the card text that's been
Okay.
errated. I mean, they can't change the actual card itself.
That's true. Yeah, here, I'll show you. It's not just MTG Bot. They haven't changed this either.
Go down.
But I mean,
go down slightly though. There, like you can. There you go.
There's the card text. Right there. Add star card.
Nice.
Alright, so we are going to come back up to the booth. We'll see you in a
Gideon,
moment.
no. But, alright. And did you change it? Oh, you did. Look at you.
Look at me, I'm good.
Nice.
Alright, we'll see you in a sec.
Hello.
Whoop, I didn't change this.
No.
I am not Sean. I am Logan.
But I'm TJ.
And you are watching Geek Fortress. We're streaming standard here on Monday. We're going into round 2 of 4, which I should probably change. You should help me. remember how to
Under
do this.
miscellaneous text, you can change that to say 2 of 4, and then if you'd like, you can go to the timer,
I would like to.
and then you can stop it, and then you'll actually want to reset it to 50. Because I forgot to start it in the last thing.
Oh man.
Hello everybody, it's great having you. We're doing a little bit of on-stream training with Mr. Logan here.
I'm still learning. Please tell me if I make mistakes. I do learn that way.
Yes, it's all kinds of fun. It's my favorite way to play Magic with him. But
Thanks.
you're ever so welcome, Logan. Now tell me a little bit, because I was told that we stream a decent amount.
A lot. We stream 4 times a week. We do standard on Mondays. By we, I say mostly him, which is why I'm learning to try and lighten the load. Mondays, we do standard at 6:30. We do modern on Wednesdays, starting at 6.
7.
7.
7.
7?
7.
7. I'm learning. I don't play on Wednesdays. However, Wednesdays at 7. We do Legacy on Fridays at 7. And then Monday at
7:30.
7:30. Thanks for waiting. At 7:30. Friday, 7:30.
Uh-huh.
And then Saturdays we do modern at 6. Now when I know I'm right because I play that.
You're absolutely correct. I'm gonna find us around a round 2 game and have some fun.
Thank you very much. Mercury, I actually pretty agree with you a lot. I'd rather watch it in person than just online. I don't know. It feels like Moto can be buggy sometimes. And watching people just click through their triggers can be pretty annoying. David Bradbury. Yep, that's what Soul Ring says. Or at least it should. You did do it. I prefer watching paper. 7 times 7, you'll remember it. Very cool. What do I play? What are you asking? What do I play in the formats that I play in, or what formats do I play? I can answer both. I play standard and modern and limited, if you want to count that. In standard, I play Green Black Sacrifice. I'm also working on my own Jund list, which has been an interesting experiment. And then in modern, I play Beck and Call combo elves, which is a lot of fun.
So,
What do we got?
yes, on the against the wall on the right side for you. We will have Jake Van Winkle, who is playing Grixis Control, going up against Tyler Tobler, who is on Seasons Past. Seemed like a pretty neat matchup.
It is.
We would have 4 of the 5 colors. But yeah, did you tell them what your legacy deck is?
I don't have a legacy deck.
Yeah, so it's basically Pox, except he already got hit.
What's that playing again?
He is playing Seasons Past.
There we
Excellent.
go.
And then if you want to reset the win counters, as well as the life counters.
I do. How'd you know?
I thought you might. Should be pretty sweet. What's my opinion of the Naya Super Friends Tokens deck sideboard, namely Angelic Purge?
The deck is sweet. I've only seen it like once or twice. However, you basically have a suite of planeswalkers, and then if that doesn't get the job done, you've also got Secure the Waste in Westvale Abbey, which is pretty good.
That's pretty decent.
Angelic Purge is a sweet card. I've only ever seen it be good with Demonic Pact, when you're able to sack your Demonic Pact. Yeah, that's the thing.
If
It's
you'd
cool.
like, you're more than welcome to start the timer and head on down.
Alright, we'll see you there.
You are nailing it.
Got it. Except for the timer.
Except for the timer, but hey, that's fine.
Boom. Not everyone's perfect.
I mean, you're pretty close. Man, we are so positive. Goodness. Look at our smiling faces.
Someone screenshot that.
So, Seasons Past versus Grixis. It's interesting because from Jake you have basically the power of Kolagon's command, which is big.
Yeah.
But going up against a deck like Seasons Past, is Jake's game plan to basically just keep him from... Because I feel like Jake has got a lot more options by having the red for some reach, and the blue does give him a little bit more... it just gives him a little bit more options as far as manipulating things.
Yes.
But Tyler's late game is going to be big.
Tyler has much better late game. So the biggest thing for this one is Tyler is going from a control deck now to a tempo deck. He's going to try and land a threat and then protect it through hand disruption or just getting it back again and again and again and again and again.
And
Jake is going to be looking to try and counter the important pieces that he can. So any kind of Seasons Past effects or Transgress the Mind, he's going to try and counter those and then come back at him with Jake's own Kalidas or with a Chandra.
So tell me what does Jake's ideal first 3 turns look like? You know what? Turn 1 doesn't really matter in Standard right now. What do Jake's ideal first turn 2?
Duress
3,
or
4?
Transgress the Mind will be best if he can cast it before turn 3. Outside of that, keeping up a counterspell to hit Tyler's Transgress the Mind.
Okay. And for Tyler, same question.
Actually, the same thing, basically. Turn 1 or 2, he wants to cast Duress or Transgress the Mind.
Okay.
And then turn 3, he wants to be looking to start setting up a creature. I do know Tyler plays Nissa. If he can land a Nissa early game, he'll have a creature that he can start swinging out with. I believe that's the best way for Tyler to be looking for victory.
Okay. And what will their late games look like? What will Jake's winning board state look like?
Jake's going to have a Chandra and Kalidas in play if he wins. If Tyler wins, he's going to have like 6 cards in his hand.
Okay. Sounds good. Oh, if they put a Tibbleton the next set, I can tell you exactly what I'll be playing at GP Portland.
I'd be very surprised if they don't. Because of all the Planeswalkers, only Nahiri is red, and she's kind of red. She exiles things, which feels very white.
So far, Jake's no blue mana as of yet, but setting up his mana base. Both players kind of starting off slow, but Tyler with some of the manlands. And Jake probably going to be going for an island here, but
Probably.
no Transgress. Neither player really lining up with their ideal... Oh, come on.
Tyler's got a Transgress.
They're both doing the exact same. And we have got a Ruinous Path, a Read the Bones, a Silumgar, a Kolagon's Command, and... What's that one on the... Is that a Silumgar's Command?
Yeah.
Neat.
Well done.
Oh, Arlen is red, that's true.
Oh, that's true. Arlen's red. She does feel very red.
So is Sorin more powerful and standard than Chandra? Okay, so there's 2 aspects to this. 1, maybe. But I will say that 2, Sorin is in a much better deck than Chandra.
Yeah.
Like, I think that there are just better there are better cards to put Sorin into a deck with than there are to put Chandra in a deck with.
Yes.
But they do kind of different things.
Soren's more of a control finisher. He's looking to kill a single threat, gain you a little bit of life to put you back in the game from taking a beating early game, and then just eventually draw you cards and eventually deal damage. Chandra is looking to wipe out your opponent's chances of winning within the next 1 or 2 turns.
They're both control finishers, but in a very different way.
Yeah. Chandra's looking to impact the board. Soren's looking to just give you incremental value.
Yeah, Chandra wipes a swarm, Sorin will take down the big creature that they got through.
So, Revealing Hands, Tyler has a lot of lands and a Ruinous Path, and that was about it. He probably kept the hand because he had Transgress the Mind and his lands.
So,
He just hit you for 2.
There's first blood. It counts. So Jake down to 18.
Oh, I did the wrong person.
Nah,
Look at
you're
me
fine.
still learning.
Abrupt Cake, you are more than welcome. So Jake heading into his turn. Now we know that he has got... I mean, you don't, like... Okay, I like to read the bones here. Just setting up for the future turns. He's not under a whole lot of pressure. And he's got a bunch of, like, some finisher cards. He's got some that can stem the bleeding, like the Ruinous Path, not super impactful right now, especially being sorcery speed against Tyler's manlands.
Yeah. The Fire Impulse is going to be a great way to kill the mainland.
I honestly couldn't tell you what Silumgar's Command do.
Well, I have a nifty way to find out.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. So we're going to activate it again and go in for 2, and that Fire Impulse is going to fix some problems there. Okay, so we're looking at a 5 mana.
It's 5 mana, choose 2. You can counter a non-creature, or bounce any permanent, or give a creature -3/-3, or destroy target planeswalker.
Now, the Destroy Target Planeswalker, I think super relevant in like the current standard. Maybe not a ton in this particular matchup.
This is one of the best cards I've found against Gideon, because usually people just go Gideon, make a token. This lets you go -3/-3 the token, kill your planeswalker.
Or bounce the token.
Or bounce the token.
If you're feeling
you
saucy.
technically could. So Tyler, I don't know if he got a read that Jake has a way to kill his land. Oh no, Jake just killed it. Never
Yeah.
mind. We were too busy
No,
conversing with you.
I
guys.
mentioned it.
Did you?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I was too busy convincing.
Hodor. God, you're the best. Yeah, oh, man.
Jake casting another Read the Bones. Going down to 14.
Now, Tyler does have a Blighted Fen, which means that some of Jake's, like he has that Silumgar in hand, looking a lot worse in the face of that Blighted Fen.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what do we have from Jake?
Jake's just looking to fill up his hand right now, diversify his answers and his threats right now. He's got the Goblin Dark Dwellers in his hand, so if he's able to start pitching removal spells or start casting them, the Dark Dwellers will essentially do anything he wants. Meanwhile,
The Mom and Pop Thopter Shop. Opening up shop.
that's a really good card against Tyler because
That's-
it just gives you 3 mana, kill a land that Tyler activated.
Now he does have access. Like Tyler has access to Languish. Nice.
Which it looks like what's happening right now.
Nailed it. Look at me go. This guy called it.
Well done.
Oh man.
So Jake is probably just going to cast. Nothing. Just holding up whatever Tyler's going to do. Tyler's basically top decking, but not in a terrible spot. Jake's down to 14. Jake's got a grip of cards in his hand, which is going to be fairly annoying. But he doesn't have a way to start hitting Tyler outside of this Wandering Fumarole.
We do actually have the tokens, but Jake disrespected us and put down Thopters.
Whatever. They died instantly, so it didn't matter.
Me not being on the left is because Logan running things today.
Learning.
You're doing great.
Thanks.
So I'm taking a shot at the right seat and having some fun with it.
I'm the guy on the right this time.
My right hand
left.
isn't busy clicking things constantly. It's pretty sweet, actually.
So Jake actually countering
is that a
duress.
bounce on
Yeah,
the
and then
land?
bouncing land.
Love it.
That's how important duress is here, because it's basically just a Thoughtseize against Jake. Sealing all sorts of value.
So we put that down tapped, heading back into Jake's. Both of these players. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that Jake is technically still hitting his land drops, which every time that a control mirror shows up, we do have to mention that the player that misses their land drops first is at a disadvantage.
A huge disadvantage.
So a swing for one. Do you go for the flip?
Yes. Because then you just flip it back if you need to.
But it looks like we are going to try and Blighted Fen him out of there.
Yep.
Okay.
But, I mean, Jake has enough lands to do something like that, use 4 or 5 mana to activate something like that, and still hold up 4 or 5 mana to stop whatever Tyler's doing, and that's big.
That is big. T-Forbes, it's great to see you again. I feel like it's been a bit since I've seen you, and I'm sorry if that's either me or it's you or it's the fact that I have seen you and I'm being forgetful, which occasionally happens.
It's not you.
It's us.
It is us.
Oh man. So, a Dark Petition from Tyler. I'm pretty sure he's got Spell Mastery.
Yeah.
So what are we going for?
If Tyler is feeling risky, he goes for a Seasons Past. If he wants to grab something that Jake has to answer but won't break Tyler if it is answered, probably something like a Kalitas.
That's reasonable. The Cletus just because it can apply pressure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
if it sticks, then Tyler's in a good spot. If it doesn't, Tyler's fine.
I just don't feel like Cletus is actually super high impact against Jake because there's just so few creatures, and that's kind of where he shines is against other like creature decks. Just life gain and life gain when they're attacking you a lot. Like Tyler's still at 19, and Jake's been doing stuff.
Yeah, but we saw Jake has.
Looks like he did go for it though.
He's got the Mom and Pop, which will give Kalitas a token if he's got it.
Sure.
Tyler does know that Jake has a Goblin Dark Dwellers in his hand, which if Tyler is able to kill it, then will be a big swing for Tyler.
I think that's a bit of an because we're aware of the Runes Path, which I think is, or you could take your own Kalitas.
Just take it.
The
Take it's
Blighted
pretty good.
Fen no longer in there, and that's a card that was in his hand. So I'm curious to see what Tyler's answer to that is, because he was aware of that card. And
Rune's Path with Awaken.
Interesting. And slap. Okay. So takes it back, and we're gonna see a pass back.
Probably.
Something like interesting.
Fire Impulse. Probably hitting the land. Fire Impulse. Finishing out the land.
It's like, that seems interesting. I think he does have a Ruins Path, so he might just choose to fire that off at the Kalitas, and then get back to a board parity, but then both players will be at 2 cards in hand. And he's got enough to actually animate his own as well.
Yeah, and attack with him.
Yep.
Which it looks like is what he's going to do.
And it looks like it's time to even up, well, not even up the score, but at least tighten it up.
Start applying his own pressure. Tyler goes down to 15. Jake is in the lead. However, it looks like Tyler's going to resolve the Seasons Pass. Getting back a land to rest, transgress the mind, Kalitas, Ruinous Path. Actually, probably grab a tutor instead of... Actually, and a tutor. So that's 6 things right there.
Right.
And I keep saying it. 6 mana, draw 6 is pretty good. in a green deck.
It's pretty solid. Full Metal asking, what is the use of the waste in the Season's Past deck?
A lot of Season's Past decks are now playing one Kozilek. And so just being able to cast a Kozilek, because since their deck is built around having cards of every single mana type, just so they can get full value off of their Seasons Past, and their game plan is to go long anyways, having a Kozilek being able to counter pretty much anything is pretty good. So I know that Tyler's doing that, so that's why he has the waste in there. Yeah. Draw 7. You can draw as many cards as you have mana cost for. If you've got 1
you
through
can
15,
draw up. I don't think that there's a 14. No, I don't think there's a 14 mana spell.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can draw up to like 14 or something like that.
Someone do the
you
math.
can get a land. So
yeah, you can get
15.
a land. Someone do the math. What's the maximum amount of cards that you're able to get back with Seasons Pass?
Yeah. And with that duress, we have 2 removal spells.
Probably taking Ruinous Path.
2 Mercury. Do I like the legend rule? I actually do, but only because it functions as... It's a downside. It absolutely is. It's a flavor thing if you happen to care about that, or for EDH. But otherwise, it acts as a downside. And I'm not particularly thrilled about it on cards, but I can appreciate putting it on some cards that allows them to maybe make it a touch better, because then they can't have multiple copies in play.
Yep.
So I can appreciate it as a design tool that they have.
And here we see why Tyler took the Grasp of Darkness instead of the Ruinous Path, because then he could just take the other one with the Transgress to Mind. Now Jake, I don't think Jake has any cards in his hand anymore.
And apparently there was a 14 drop, so you can actually draw 16 cards because of 0 mana spells.
Sweet. Blink
Actually,
Moth
Draco's 16.
Oh, it's an affinity
You can draw
card.
17 cards. Is there a 13 drop? There is. There has to be. So if there is a 13 drop, you can draw 17 cards off of this.
How was there not a 13 drop when we've had 2 sets in Innistrad?
Oh, no, they are absolutely right. There has to be a 13 drop.
Who's got
I don't
it?
think that either of them are from Innistrad, but...
It might be an affinity card. Affinity cards are weird.
Yeah.
Who
Anyway.
would play affinity? It's so weird.
Seriously.
So Jake,
Those people should burn, because Tyler down to 7 at the moment against Jake's 14. With Jake dropping down. A Jace Vryn's Prodigy still does have the 4/4, and Tyler hasn't answered that yet. He's been doing a lot for taking apart Jake's hand, but has yet to come up with an actually really good answer, apart from his own manland. Which, when you think that Jake is about to flip his Jace, suddenly Grasp of Darkness looks okay.
yeah.
Tyler does have the Blighted Fen. Might actually use that just to get rid of the Jace. If he doesn't have a whole lot else going on, he could go for that and leave up his Inquagmar to be able to trade with one of those creatures and force him to get rid of the Jace, but it looks like that's not what we're going to see.
He's probably just going to go for a Dark Petition. Find a tutor.
There is
He could go get Ruinous Path. Use Ruinous Path to take out the swamp. Or even go get Languish. Languish would be better. Yep.
Looks like it.
Go to Languish, cast that, kill both of them right away. So now we have Jake with no cards in hand. Tyler has 5 cards in hand, excuse me. Whew.
You want to talk about devastating late game.
Yeah.
But apparently you can only get back 16 cards. There's no 13 drop.
No 13, dang.
So you get 16, 15, 14, 12 through 0.
So that's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Sweet.
With Jake down to 12 currently. Looking down.
Gets a not a transgress, Read the Bones, and hits a Goblin Dark Dwellers, which is probably just going to cast Read the Bones again.
Fair enough.
Hello, welcome to the Fortnites. Thank you for hitting that follow button.
We appreciate it. If anybody else wants to hit that follow button who hasn't yet, now's a great time. We can get a chain lightning going. So Jake down to 12 after going for that Read the Bones.
And he decided to cast Transgress the Mind off of Dark Dwellers, which makes sense.
Yeah, especially being at 12, which he's at.
After casting Read the Bones. I'm still learning.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
He's taking out Ruinous Path just to make sure that he doesn't have an easy way to take out Goblin Dark Dwellers. Tyler is on 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lands, so 1 land away from casting that Ulamog in his hand, which will be pretty good. Zero Buddha, thank you for hitting the follow. Welcome to the Fortnite.
We appreciate it.
So very much.
I'm trying out being on the right today. Logan's running things. Snake 7.
Welcome to the Fortnite.
You're the best.
Around.
Nothing's ever gonna
Take you
down.
I was going to say that.
Oh, never gonna let you down.
Yeah.
We're never going to run around.
So Tyler playing Kalitas, like we were saying, sometimes Legendary is a bad thing. If Kalitas wasn't Legendary, Tyler could play the second and have a way to block this Dark Dwellers. However, since he can't, Tyler's probably going to be going down to 3 this turn. And if Jake has any kind of burn spell, he could be playing the Exquisite Firecraft.
Is that a Hissing Quagmire underneath this forest? I don't think it is. I think that's another forest.
No, it is.
Oh, it is?
Yep.
So he can get in the way of it then.
Oh, yeah. Boo.
So if Jake has... Ooh, is that a Cold Guns command in hand? That seems like a not bad way to...
-3 that. Take out your Kalitas.
I actually might have liked taking down the... Oh, but that keeps him from actually... Okay.
It kills Kalitas.
Yeah.
And gets back his own Kalitas. Or gets back something else. I forgot. I didn't see what it was.
He got back his own Kalitas and dropped it down. That seems pretty good.
That is pretty good.
And Jake is now in a pretty solid position.
It puts Tyler down on land. It could have been interesting to see Tyler go for taking the 4. Going to 3 is risky, but unless Jake plays Exquisite Firecraft, he's probably not going to die to burn. And seeing if he can hit a land for an Ulamog.
Sadistic. Trying it out. I'll still be on the left for the majority of, especially
Usually.
the Modern and Legacy streams.
I'm here for today.
I mean, Standard one, you've definitely got Standard down better than I do.
I like to think so.
Oh, did you get the Cylinder back?
I think he did.
That seems pretty okay.
Yeah. So now if Tyler plays a blocker, Jake can just take it. And then swing in for 7.
My apologies to Deemser and Full Metal. Chad always keeps me honest.
Tyler going for a Season's Fast. He's probably doing this so that he can get back in Grasp of Darkness.
Or just take down the Kalitas. I mean...
And a land, actually. No? Is he dead
can-
on board? No, he's not technically dead on
He's
board.
not down on board, but he also needs to answer the Silumgar. The hand disruption is pretty... So he pretty much has to kill one of those 2 creatures, but then he still needs to answer it 2 turns in a row. Man, that is not great. Full House Huntley, thank you so much for the follow. You're a rock star. Yeah, look at me go.
Well done.
Woo!
Transgress hitting the Cylinder. I'm assuming.
And...
Coming
Man,
in for damage.
This is a good Chain Lightning that we've got going on.
It is pretty good.
Thanks, everybody, for hitting that follow button.
So Tyler down to 2. Jake up to 15. Jake drew a Jace. Which
Is
is
he up to
pretty
19?
good.
For some
Is
reason
he?
or other? He appears to be.
Maybe we just got it wrong.
Interesting.
Because wasn't he at 12?
I could not tell you for certain how he ended up at 19.
Oh. I don't think it entirely matters because I'm pretty sure Tyler's just dead here. Well, he got Languish back actually.
Languish is going to be pretty solid.
If he drew a land, but it doesn't look like he does. Let's see why Jake's at 19.
Mercury, you're talking to a burn player. I certainly...
Yeah. He's all
I
good.
love it. Whew. So, man, Tyler going for languish after languish after languish.
It ain't broke.
Oh. Hey, Jake. By any chance, did you count your Dark Dwellers as having lifelink?
Oh, yeah, I did, yeah.
Okay, I
There
think
we
you're
go.
at 15.
My bad.
So Jake thinking his Dark Dwellers had lifelink, which is reasonable when you're just hitting with a lifelinker and a non-lifelinker. So,
Clearly, he should play Soul Sis- I don't know, something lifelinky. Is there a lifelinky deck? That's a weird. That's a weird sentence.
not really.
Let's move forward from it.
Kalitas is the biggest lifelinker.
No, it's lifelinky.
Linky, lifelinky, whatever. Ultimate Prize taking out Kalitas. But if Tyler draws a land here, he's just slamming down Ulamog.
Which is not bad,
No.
but it's also not great against Jade Cylinder.
No, he doesn't have any hand anymore because he casted Transgress the Mind.
Oh, you're right.
But it looks like Tyler's just going for another Dark Petition. He's probably going to get back Seasons Past and then cast it right away. Oh no, Nissa's Revelation.
Ooh, that's going to put him up to 8.
Mm-hmm. So he
We keep
gains
thinking
7.
that Tyler's just out of this game, but after Seasons Past keeps clawing him back in. And Noble Hierarch, it's great to see you. Turn 1 Noble Hierarch, personally. Or technically, words.
Turn 1
I
Noble
have them.
Hierarch. Yeah, that's what his name is.
Yep.
Or her.
Them.
Them. Person. Noble Hierarch.
Noble Hierarch.
Tyler gets to untap, gets to tap 10 lands, which is always fun to do. Just
Yeah, I'm just gonna
tapping
rip this song
a
off the
million
top,
lands.
naturally. You know, this is game 1.
Yeah, this is game 1. These two decks are quite grindy.
I mean, I said Revelation. I did mean Renewal. Okay.
Oh, I apologize. It was probably me.
So, that's pretty good. Dryu, that sounds awesome.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful.
It should be Kramer, like, descending upon a bunch of Seinfelds running away.
Attack helicopter. Alright. They identify as attack helicopter.
Done. You got it.
Jake counting his deck.
Ooh.
Tyler making sure. Yeah. Jake's like, alright, I'm taking 10 milling almost over half my deck.
You got it.
So, Tyler taking down that game.
Other one.
Other one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I normally go with the inside one.
Alright.
It's a little bit more aesthetically pleasing.
Aesthetic. Look at that.
And there we go. So,
Boom.
Tyler, game 1. Jake needs to get into the aggressive position. Oh, and he's got a lot of negates.
Boom, negates.
You could fight a good counter battle with that.
Yeah, you can.
Because that's something that Tyler just doesn't have any access to. So,
Any kind of counter spell is rough. Tyler's probably bringing in more hand disruption. If he doesn't already have full duresses, full transgress the minds, he does now. Because they're just that good. He might... I could see him bringing in another Nissa's Renewal. Just because being able to get back in would be pretty good. And then being able to hit that 10 mana for Ulamog can really put him over the top if he's able to get it. But just making sure he can resolve Seasons Past multiple times is probably his best way to win this now.
Noble Hierarch, if I were to answer that question, I would say that I am personally a fan of the many Zoo. Like, I like Zoo. I mean, I like most decks, but I like Zoo a lot. I've considered building it. My personal favorite is the really low to the ground aggro Zoo with, like, Bushwhacker Zoo. I also really... The Burning Zoo is kind of fun, but I feel like it's a little too diluted between the two. I like it. But that would be my personal favorite, but I do really enjoy Zoo. Like, Noble Hierarch, or Wild Mikado's a great card. It is. It's just a good card.
It's lightning bolt that keeps on bolting.
So,
K-Markey, if he's got him, he could. I don't know if they'd be amazing. Probably the only thing he would name with an Infinite Obliteration would be Dragonlord Silumgar. That'd probably be the best thing. However, outside of knowing Jake's list, I know most Grixis decks look to finish off with a Chandra. And so, since Infinite Obliteration can't hit that, he may not, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him bring it in.
he could also actually hit the Mom and Pop Doctor Shop. Or Kalidas if he wants to.
Kalidas doesn't hurt him that much. It kind of does, because if he kills his own Kalidas, he can't get it back with Seasons Past. But Tyler's more of a spell stack.
Yeah. So, could go for it, and probably, you're probably correct that the right call would be the Silumgar. Just because, I mean, even... It saves your Ulamog.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty solid finisher.
There's nothing worse than watching someone mind control your Ulamog.
Really, it should be, the interesting thing is that they're running Ulamog, which they could technically bring back from the graveyard, but the only way to remove it is by putting it in exile. I just thought that was interesting. Sadistic? That's... I'm Cole? I love it!
Dave.
Cole plays Burn a lot. Plays Burn in furnaces and all kinds of things.
I was thinking Coltrane.
Dave, it's great to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Cole. Dark Dwellers is pretty good. That's true. He could name Dark Dwellers with Infinite Obliteration.
Hello to the daughter who gave us new names. We appreciate them. We'll wear them with pride.
Very much. Should I change our names up here?
Nah. I mean, it's just got the Twitter handles on, which if you did want to follow us on Twitter, I'm more active than you are on it, but I'll let you know when we're streaming, and you can see I posted it earlier today. Coleman did his music video.
I haven't watched it yet.
Coleman did his music video. He did a one take of it, but he does like a really passionate guitar solo at one point. It's awesome. He's rocking it and stuff, and then when the guitar solo comes out, he's just like he just like gets into it.
I'll
So
have to watch that at some
if
point.
check out my Twitter, you can see like 13 images of me eating Tibalts and looking as miserable as you'll ever see me on recorded footage, and you can see Coleman rocking out to Maniac. It's beautiful.
That's weird.
Oh.
Mercury, that's mean. I love it.
That sounds wicked.
Yeah.
Like that. Oh man,
Is Brago modern legal?
no.
You might want to double check that.
True. I don't think Brago is modern legal.
Is black-white mid-range playable with this meta? Are you talking about specifically Geek Fortress meta or just standard meta in general? In
Probably
standard meta in general, black-white control is a very popular, very powerful deck.
Probably in the top 5.
Absolutely. If you're looking for more of a mid-rangey deck, you definitely can. Just like curving out Kalidas into Avacyn into Sorin. It's pretty good. That's kind of what the black-white control deck kind of does already. It plays a ton of removal spells, a decent amount of creatures, and then planeswalkers. That deck sometimes just plays a million removal spells. Sometimes on turn 6, it plays Secure the Waste for 5 and then flip over Westville Abbey and hit you. Sometimes it just curves out just like that, Kalidas into Avacyn into Sorin, and that's really hard to beat.
It's pretty good. You know what would make it better though? Siege Rhino.
No, it wouldn't.
No,
You
it
shut your mouth. Card's gone for good.
Because then you would get disqualified for having an illegal deck.
Never
That's
wanna see that
definitely
card.
worse.
Jake's starting off with tapped land.
As soon as we get between games, Spleen would like you to talk about your Jund experiments.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So when we have a chance, I'll remind him and we can totally...
Absolutely. I actually have a lot to talk about. Well, kind of. There have been tests. I like testing decks.
I love all the no's that I'm getting. I love it. God. Siege Rhino's a problem.
No, about Braga.
Oh, yeah. Brago is not modern legal. It was only in Conspiracy. So in Evolving Wilds, going for a Swamp, Jake on the play, revealing a land, and going for a Jace turn 2. Not a bad way to go about it. That's going to help him filter also to the cards that he really wants against Tyler.
Absolutely. Tyler going for Duress. Probably going to take Read the Bones. Yeah, snap enough Read the Bones.
I mean, the Grasp of Darkness isn't, like, incredible there, right?
It's useful against Tyler because it's an instant speed way to kill lands, but ultimately Tyler's like, sure, I'll just get it back in.
Okay. So...
Merfolk Looter doing pretty good.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm sorry, Full Metal. That card should never have to haunt people.
The card is good. I'll give it that. So, heading into Tyler's turn, he's got a 3-minute and going. Look at this. Is this the Origins Showdown? This is
I like
like
Mists of Island Jace.
this is like reading two issuances of like an Origins comic book story where they come up against each other, and then you just spilled your coffee on your brand new Nissa comic book.
Oh,
Yeah,
sad
and
day.
you got the fun of it. You got the little
Sad day.
You got the coupons that come at the front that you never actually use, which is a basic forest. That's
You
in
know
his
what?
hand.
We can get it back.
We can get
can
it
fix
back,
it.
you know, and some days we can recollect upon just seasons past and really look upon the good times.
Yep. Sometimes it requires some form of petition to get people to join you.
That's a really good point, but that's when things can start getting a little bit dark.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. I guess we're just kind of grasping at straws here.
Probably. Jake is going to read the bones.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
You're better at this than I am.
More
You're better
practice.
than I admit it.
Better practice.
But I know something you don't.
That you are not left-brained?
Yes.
Nice. So Hissing Quagmire down for Tyler. Still not a whole lot of play from either side. We're just going to get... Actually, didn't even activate the Jace there. Probably doesn't want to... That's interesting.
He knows that Tyler can kill it in response, which is what this duress is hopefully going to prevent. But Tyler has a Guy's Revenge in hand, a Erebos' Titan, and an Infinite
Erebos'
Obliteration.
Titan? Bring it up. Oh my goodness. Westlon, that's awesome. I can't wait for you to come join us one day and play that deck. How do I feel about EMA? I'm super stoked, and you should be too, because next Saturday we're doing the Legacy Showdown, in which you can join us at noon Pacific time, where I will be doing 11 hours of streaming all day. Oh my, I'm going to have to stock up on food.
Yeah, you are.
I just realized that I have to eat.
Yeah, on stream.
No.
Dude, I'll bring you an extra Tibble. You can eat that on stream.
Legit, I will never eat another magic card.
So Erebos' Titan, sweet sick tech. I did not know Tyler had this, but it's a 4-mana 5/5 that if your opponent has 0 creatures, which most control decks don't, it is indestructible. And whenever a creature card leaves an opponent's graveyard, you can pitch a card and put it from your graveyard to your hand. Which, if Jake is using Kolaghan's Command to get stuff back, then that just gives Tyler his 5/5 back.
That is hilarious.
It's pretty good.
Oh, man. Oh, that is sweet. Sometimes you gotta drink your food. I mean, that's true. Maybe I'll just get like a bunch of smoothies for the day.
It just makes me feel like I'm sick, and I don't know. It's bad. It doesn't sit well with me, drinking food.
Westlon, you can most certainly show up with a standard deck. I can't promise you'll do well, though.
I would be so proud of you. So much pride would be had towards you.
Actually, it's... oh, no, never mind. Dig Through Time rotated out. And it's like those all rotated out.
Yep.
Okay.
Spent 2,000 foil modern trying to reverse. Oh, I am sorry to hear that, Noble Hierarch. So Tyler going for another obliteration. Probably naming Dragonlord Silumgar if it resolves.
Doesn't look like he's going to be naming a thing.
Nope. No names.
I have no name.
We got names.
Yeah, we do.
Mine's Dave.
Mine's Cole. Love it.
So much fun.
Man, we appreciate those names. So Jake, decent amount of lands. He does have the Wandering Fumarole that he could try and get in with, and with Tyler having only colorless and green. But it looks like he does want to save his mana up. Maybe he has a Silumgar's Command in hand?
Being able to counter Tyler's 6 drops are pretty important.
If he has a
Because
counter,
if you ever
this is
tap
one.
out and Tyler gets to cast a Seasons Past, it's pretty big. But countering Indus's Renewal is not exactly what he wants to be doing. However, it puts Tyler at 9 lands. So if Tyler has another land to play and an Ulamog, that's a turn 7 Ulamog.
I mean, it also just means that like he doesn't
also
he?
gain 7.
Oh god, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Card's sweet.
Being at 27 is not bad. Gosh. But yes, I am quite excited about Eternal Masters. Actually, I have a box. I'm gonna try opening a pack on stream. Basically, maybe once per stream, something like that. So Golgon's Command coming down.
Jake got back a Jason and made Tyler discard a card. Tyler discarded Erebos' Titan.
Unfortunately, if we were to bring up Golgon's Command, we could check to see the order on that. But I think the discard happens first. Interestingly enough. But
How do you spell colon?
KH. No, it's not. Yeah, you're right. GH. Yeah. But
Oh, you guys are watching this happen.
yes, they
Boom.
are. Yes, they are.
Nope, it's return and then discard.
Okay.
Jake playing. Oh, sweet.
Mercury's...
So Jake played Goblin Dark Dwellers, recasted Kolaghan's Command, getting back his Dragonlord Silumgar. I didn't see what the second mode was. But Tyler then took the opportunity to discard a card and get back Erebos' Titan, I believe. Mainly because I don't see it in his graveyard anymore. He might have made him discard his last card. Because I don't think Tyler has any cards in his hand anymore.
I'm going to take a moment to quickly refresh my memory on what all the arts on the packs are, and then I'll let you know. Okay.
Fool's probably 200. So
I
Jake
gotta
is
find
getting
out.
in for some damage. Tyler's going to animate his Hissing Quagmire and block Wandering Fumarole because it is his only legal block.
Yes.
Here we go. Jake loses his land.
A
Going for the
trade,
motion.
yeah. Flips it. Still 4 damage to Tyler, but the problem is that like Tyler's got a lot of inevitability right now. Actually, is he out of cards in hand?
Yeah. Tyler is hellbent.
So Jake has got a decent. It basically involves making Tyler just floating Tyler's library.
Mhm.
But that does give him a shot.
Jake's got to apply pressure. He may even just play Dragonlord Silumgar just to have a creature with power and toughness. Because Tyler has a lot of really good top decks.
Yes, he does. Especially when he's got that much mana.
Yeah. Does he have enough for an Ulamog? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He doesn't have enough for an Ulamog, which means the land isn't necessarily dead.
But it's also not great.
Yeah.
But he ended up trading that one with his Tabor Feed, thank you so much for hitting that follow button. We greatly appreciate it. Go ahead and start. Let's get a chain lightning going. If you are watching and this is your first time watching or second time or whatever, and you haven't hit that follow button yet and you'd like to, we certainly appreciate it. It means a lot to us. We're in here 20 hours a week or so, streaming all types of Magic, and it's always a good time.
He is. No, me. This guy's great.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Man, Jake is playing fast.
Jake is playing fast.
He is feeling the clock. Because since Tyler's up a game, if Jake wins this, he will have the remaining time to win another game. And as a control deck, winning a game in 10 minutes is not very easy.
No. And a draw is not ideal.
Yep. So Tyler drew a Grasp of Darkness, which instantly killed Jake's Kalidas. So Jake is going to deal 2 damage to Tyler and get back Goblin Dark Dwellers. I imagine Dark Dwellers is going to recast Kolaghan's command to get back another creature.
Seems pretty decent. Man, how am I unable to find the art? My goodness.
Poggy Power. Poggy Power.
Bogey Power!
Thank you very much for hitting that follow button.
You're
Means
the
very
best.
much to us.
Hey, it's your first time in here?
Welcome.
That's awesome. If you ever do have any questions, comments, feedback, anything like that, we're more than happy to interact. Interacting with you guys is our favorite thing to do. That's a good... Wow.
Yeah. You guys are just sweet.
That's a 2-turn clock that... I mean, the nice part is that Jake is able to interact with it fairly well because he doesn't run a whole lot of... Oh, no, he can't. He doesn't have a single green
can't.
spell. I was thinking, like, not green spells, but...
How do you spell Gaia?
And we're about to learn what exactly Grasp of Darkness says.
You mean Gaia's Revenge?
That's exact... Well, I guess,
How
either
do
way.
you spell...
It's an apostrophe S.
Like that?
No, it's,
Gaia, why is your name gotta be so weird?
Go ahead and...
Either way, it is a giant creature.
Yeah.
Its power and toughness is an 8/5. It has haste, it cannot be countered, and can't be the target of non-green spells or abilities. It is super hexproof.
Pokey Power, thank you so much for joining us this evening. At least for us, maybe not for you. Oh, wait, what's it say? It can't be the target of spells or abilities.
So Jake is just getting a Death Touch blocker out.
Pretty much. Except it doesn't block very well. Or can it block? Oh, no,
You
it
can
can't be.
block.
Yeah, sorry, I was thinking that it couldn't...
You can block with that.
I was thinking that it couldn't... It was just protection from non-green.
Oh,
in
okay.
my mind is what I gave it.
Yeah.
To Pokey Power and Tabor Feed, one thing that I would like to ask both of you is how you found us. If it's through Twitch, then that's a perfectly good answer. But I'd be curious to see if you found us through another means. Though I am going to take a look at where we are on the page. And, we're number 3. Hey, that's not bad. Oh,
Jake can activate Wandering Funeral and swing in, hopefully dealing 8 damage. If he does, this is a 2-turn clock, and Tyler will be dead next turn.
and do you see... I mean, I'd love to see, like, land Oolong. Oh, don't do this to me. Don't break my... I don't think... Okay.
It looks like it might be a Kalidas or a Languish.
Whew. Yeah, I mean, a Languish would not be bad, but it's also not ideal. Let's see. Fireball, it's good to see you again. Working on it ever so slowly. I need to get together and spend some time with... And that's a win.
There we go.
So now, 10 minutes left. Let me double check the timer, actually.
Yeah.
You have the timer almost exactly right. You were within
Boom.
4 seconds.
Look at that.
Yeah. But that is fantastic. So, Pokepower, thank you for finding us from Twitch. I do hope that you enjoy it. We also do Modern on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Mm-hmm.
Wednesdays at 7 o'clock Pacific. Saturdays at 6 o'clock Pacific.
Yep.
We do Standard every Monday at 6:30 Pacific. And every Friday, we do Legacy at 7:30.
Legacy is sweet.
Legacy is sweet.
It's a cool format.
Fireball, it's coming along slowly, but as I was saying, I need to meet with David for a little bit to see what our full capabilities would be. We probably need the guy's revenge.
No, people need to know. This
People
card is
do
amazing.
need to know. So I'll be curious to see what we end up with that. But yeah, we're hopeful about the Twitch partnership, and it would certainly help out a good
Help out big
amount.
time. 'Cause right now, this guy does a lot of work just because he finds it fun.
I
And
like
a lot
you
of that
guys.
is because of you guys. You guys are fantastic.
You guys are the best. I very happily volunteer my time to do this, but having like a thing to recoup some of the money that we've spent previously, and we're starting to have to update some of our equipment, so we're actually going to be buying an HD camera, I think, tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. So you can't see there's a little bit of fizz, I don't know what to call it, then like fizzled behind me.
They actually started
Okay,
on the
okay.
camera, so they never actually moved over for DJ Chuckles. Where are we located? We are in Snohomish, Washington, in the Pacific Northwest of the U.S. Is that our FNM format? Our FNM format is actually draft. We don't sanction our legacy events so that we can allow anybody to play any number of proxies.
Yep.
Full Metal, have a great night.
So we're going right off. Jake looking to play as fast as he can. Tyler looking to play as fast as they can. Because they both have to win in 8 minutes.
Yep.
I have to say Tyler has a better chance at it just because he has bigger creatures. But I have definitely
also-
seen a control deck win pretty quickly. Jake taking out an Infinite Obliteration. And Tyler has Nissa, Season's Past, Kalitas, Land, and something else in his hand, which is pretty good. It's not a beatdown plan, but it is pretty good.
Luke Bix, welcome from Texas. It's great to have you. How many people do we get for Legacy? It can kind of vary, but lately we've been getting around 10 to 12 kind of thing.
not bad.
Yeah, we had a couple weeks that were rough when we first got the Sun, but yeah, we tend to get kind of in the 10 to 12 range.
Okay.
And Chase is coming back this weekend, which means that there are likely going to be more this week.
Probably.
Chase
I think it's
being in town.
hilarious.
Hey, he's our local top performer. Top.
Give me a bit.
He's our.
Give me some time.
He's the one that's been in a pro tour.
Give me some time. I'm working on it. This is Jake taking damage to cast his Jace. Tyler probably just slamming down Kalitas, and then probably just going to swing in for 2. Jake is going to be at 17. Tyler at 19.
No, I think Jake's game plan at this point is maybe just resolving a Silumgar and taking his Kalitas.
If he
Would be
can,
kind
yeah.
of his route to victory.
Ooh.
Welcome from Georgia. Are we saying that wrong, by the way? Is it Pogi Power?
Pogi.
If it's
Poggy.
incorrect, let us know.
I feel like if it was Poggy, it'd be double G.
That's what I'm thinking as well. But welcome
Double
from
G.
Georgia. I've got an aunt in Georgia. I once caught fireflies there.
Aunt or aunt?
I guess both.
Ant's farm? You own an ant? That's pretty cool. Ultimate price. Grasp of Darkness. So Tyler killing Jake's Jace in response. Jake's Jace.
Jake's
Say that 10 times
Jace
fast.
jiggles juicily while jumping jacks. Ja.
Okay. That's an unexpected turn.
JT Morrison, welcome from Kentucky. I like the color of your grass. If it was red, it'd be better, but bluegrass.
What?
Kentucky
Oh.
bluegrass.
Okay.
Oh, come on. That was a low-hanging fruit.
These guys are playing real fast. I'm missing some damage.
Jake's Jake. Oh, it's Jake's Jace.
Jace is Jake. Jake's Jace. Jake's.
To loot. So, Legacy is every card printed with a ban list. But if it has been printed in black border or white border, it is legal in Legacy, but there's a ban list.
Mm-hmm. The ban list is mostly like anti-cards and Power 9 and then some other things as well.
Yep. And then Modern is everything from 8th edition forward that has been in Standard. Fight Forumus. Thank you so much for hitting that follow button. We appreciate you participating here at
Definitely.
Geek Fortress and joining the Fortnites.
Welcome.
We're over 100 people right now.
Sweet.
Touch your knuckles to my knuckles, man.
Did it.
Nice. Ruinous Path, and this game, if it's going to go in a direction, it's looking like it'll go in Tyler's. He definitely has options for getting around this, but both players playing at a really good pace right now.
Yeah. Which
Clearly
balance
you
is
haven't
it,
played
Ben?
with balance.
Yeah, that card is not balanced.
However, I'm
At all.
Cole. That's the one whose daughter gave us new names.
What was I? Dave. I was Dave.
Yep, Dave
my
and Cole.
name. My name is / not Dave.
Can we open a restaurant?
Dave and Cole.
Yeah,
Ooh, that does sound fancy.
it does sound like a nice sports bar.
Tyler resolving a Seasons Past, playing in Cracking Evolving Wilds.
Knocking Jake down.
Pretty good, because Tyler's got the beat down with his 2/2 zombie.
And he's got
Jake
removal
has
spells.
no way to deal with it apparently, and then Tyler just refilled his hand. So it looks like Tyler has late game and the now game pretty good.
He could maybe try and get this Wandering Food Roll in the way now that it's there, but the Grasp of Darkness is going to eliminate that.
It's also just tapped.
I mean, for future turns.
Jake down to 7. Tyler just spending all of his mana every single turn. In comes World Breaker, takes out the Fumarole.
Okay.
No possible chance of blocking ever again with that thing.
And
That's
actually,
sweet though.
There's a kill next turn.
Mom and Pop.
Actually, Tyler, with the amount of removal that he has, might actually be able to take this down.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Da'ankanashoba? Correct me if I'm wrong there, but welcome from watching. That's awesome.
That's super cool.
That's super cool. Are we on a Reddit post right now? We're on a Reddit post right now? That's
cool.
super cool. Pidgeoff, do I have you to thank for this? But whoever did, we appreciate it, and I'm going to go say hi in there. But thank you for finding us from the Reddit post, and hopefully you're enjoying it.
Yeah. So Tyler looking to take down Mom and Pop. In response, Jake uses the ability to shoot down the zombie. Tyler gets a zombie from Mom and Pop dying, and then takes down the Thopter after watching it block a giant Eldrazi.
That looks pretty good to me.
Jake casting Duress is probably just ending the game. Yep.
Nice.
Man, these guys are great. That was blazing fast.
That was really fast. We've got 2 minutes left for this round. I gotta say, it's unlikely that we're gonna have another one.
Yeah, I highly doubt it, but that was sweet. That's a cool matchup to watch.
Okay. So, now I gotta find something in a little bit more aggro realm. Hello from the Philippines. That's awesome.
Wow.
Welcome.
Welcome.
That's super cool. Thank you for finding us from Reddit. If anybody is there and wants to toss in, I mean, I don't want to, like, I feel really bad doing these, and I'm, like, getting uncomfortable saying it, but if you want to toss some positive words in there, we appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm so uncomfortable from that.
Asking for likes.
It's just,
It feels bad, but you still gotta do it. People understand.
I can't even actually find it.
So what was that about a draw? Yeah. That game 3 went blazingly fast, but it was pretty good. So they're just talking to each other about it.
So, they should be heading back up, and we can go ahead and head back up to the booth where we'll get ready for round 3.
Yep. See you there.
Oh, another one.
Nope.
Right there. That one. Fold that. Yep.
Hey, I'm learning. Sorry about that. I am still learning how to do this, but my name is Logan.
And my name is TJ.
And we are here streaming Standard on Monday nights. And it's going pretty great.
As we do every Monday night, starting about just under an hour previous, or I'm sorry, 2 hours previous to what time it is now. 6:30 Pacific time, whatever time it is for you, it's about 2 hours ago, is when we start.
Yep.
We also stream more than once a week, don't we?
We do Modern on Wednesdays, and that is at 6:30. TJ and
7:30?
7:30?
7:30?
7:30.
I'm sorry, 7. No, Wednesdays
Do
is
you
just
know?
7. Wednesdays is 7.
Either way, it is below us, and that is definitely correct.
You got to work on this timing thing. Wednesdays at 7 we stream Modern, which is about over an hour ago, based on wherever your time zone is. How about the other Modern time that we do?
The other Modern time is Saturdays, and that starts at 6 p.m.
That's absolutely
Pacific
true.
Standard Time.
Okay.
We also do Legacy on Fridays, and that starts at 7:30. 7:30
On Fridays.
Wait, let me finish talking. 7:30 on Fridays is Legacy, and that is a lot of fun. Yeah, we stream 4 times a week.
Yeah. Plus, this Saturday.
Saturday, we're doing a Legacy extravaganza.
It's going to be a good time. I'm going to go find us a match.
Do it.
Starting at noon, though. Let them know about that Legacy fight.
So this weekend, this Saturday, we're doing Legacy at noon, and that will be a win-a-box for the Eternal Masters. So we're hoping for a big turnout there. And it's going to be a blast. But we're starting at noon, doing Legacy, and then going right into Modern that night. So we're going to be streaming for 11 hours. I won't be. TJ will be. So please come by, say hi to him, tell him that he's doing a fantastic job. Because it's going to be a long day of streaming there. But it will be a blast. So, we're going into round 3 of 4. As soon as TJ comes back, we'll be able to get that. But if you have any questions, any comments, good things, bad things, keep doing these, maybe change this, please let me know in the chat. We are always looking to improve and learn from new things as we go. How many rounds tonight? Are you talking tonight or this Saturday? Tonight we have 4 rounds. Saturday for the Legacy thing, I have no idea. We usually get around 10 to 15 people on our normal Fridays. So if we have our usual crowd of that, then probably around there. Someone had asked, I forget who, but someone had asked about my Jund experiments because I've been working with Jund. The Jund list that I came up with is reminiscent of the modern Jund. Hey, Tapsphere, thank you for hitting that follow button. Welcome to the Fortnites. Glad you're here. So my Jund list is usually cheap and efficient ways to deal with your opponent's creatures, and then curves out with Dark Dwellers, Den Protector, and Kalitas, and Deathmist Raptor. So it's early game removal, late game recast those removal, and go forever. Yeah. Thank you, Spleen. Going over it. And so it's a deck that's looking to just never run out of things to do and then deal with your opponent's stuff early game. However,
I got literally both decks that were requested. On the left is Greg Ray. On Naya Walkers.
Luke Bix, thank you for hitting that follow.
We
appreciate
appreciate
it big time.
that.
Wall 2?
So, yes, he'll be on the wall.
Who?
Greg. No,
Greg.
I'm sorry. Jacob Anderson is on the wall.
Jacob.
And he's on the mono blue deck.
Ooh.
Yeah. So the mono blue going up against Naya Walkers.
Greg who? Greg Ray?
Yeah.
Greg Ray is actually the one that showed me this list in the beginning. And it's Naya Walkers.
Yep. Oh,
And
man.
then mono blue. Now, do you know...
Thanks, Spleen.
Do you know if he's doing Brain in a Jar or...
I believe it's
just
the
mono blue.
I think it's the mono blue like Prism.
Most mono blue decks are just going without Brain in a Jar and play Prison Ring instead to gain some life.
Yeah, I think it's that one.
Okay, cool. The deck is very fun.
So, are you ready for it?
I am.
So do you have the round set to round 3?
I will be.
Excellent.
Still learning, like I said.
Tapped Sphere, it's good to see ya. You get to draw a card and mana of any color to your mana pool, assuming
Hold
that
up.
you're chromatic. Oh.
I was thinking Sphere of Safety. How'd you get a Sphere of Safety tapped?
Frankie Peanuts, I'm going to go right now and ask if we can get a list for that.
Yes.
Otherwise, if you want to set the timer up, and I'll let them know that we're good. Actually, they're pretty much
Cool.
ready to go.
See you there. Alright, welcome to round 3 of 4. We have Mono Blue run by Jacob up against Naya Walkers / Tokens run by Greg. Both of these decks are very cool decks. Very fun to watch both of these decks playing. Oh,
It does
and
not
Greg-
work with
Greg
surge
did not-
costs,
alright,
unfortunately. I just talked to Tyler. He said that he would send me the list.
Sweet.
Yep. No wins as of yet from either player.
Nope.
Look at you handing them away. Not our right to give.
He's got a similar last name as mine, so I gotta be skewed towards him.
That's particularly true.
So, if you haven't seen these lists before, Mono Blue is looking out to control the game early game. Just stall your opponent as much as you can. And then use Jace's Sanctum and Prism Ring to stay alive and start casting a bunch of spells off and put them together, start chaining them together, gain lots of life, gain lots of card advantage, and then eventually cast an Awakened Part the Water Veil, and then do it again. As far as I know, other than that, there's a rise, like a single Rise from the Tides.
There's often one.
Other than that, there's not many ways to win.
No. It often leaves me feeling like they've just got a lot of, like... This
Well, they
idea came
play a lot of Days Undoing.
Sometimes
is
3.
sweet.
They're usually on like
Usually
3 from
around
what I've
3.
seen. So Greg going with an Oath of Nissa into a Cryptolith writes into now that is the
Pious Evangel.
Thank you for actually knowing the name of that card.
Boom. Oh, I am sorry. That was wrong. Boom. Got it. Hi.
Hi,
Just making sure you're still watching.
Mercury. Have a great night. I can't wait to see you next time. Oh man.
It's Pious Evangel. Gains him some life when a creature enters the battlefield, including himself. And then you
Just
can
happened.
you can pay mana and tap him, sack a permanent, and flip him. And his flip side, ooh, if I can get this to align correctly. His flip side is a much bigger pinger when something dies.
Zealous, Zulu Cup.
Zulu
Port.
Cutthroat.
Zulu Port Cup.
I was thinking Blood Artist, but Blood Artist is opponent's creatures as well.
Yep.
In the meantime, though, it's also just a 2
I mean, it happens to swing.
Yeah, that's power and toughness. It was pretty sweet. But with Greg's game plan of using Oath of Gideon and other ways to make tokens, I think it's going to gain him a lot of life. I'm not sure what this is. I want to say it is a Yeah, I was right.
And we're Militia Captain.
Yes. Look at you knowing standard.
Thank you.
Well done.
I've been trying to study more. Yeah.
It shows.
Thank you.
Which one of these is it? Because I messed up last time.
For, whose life total it is?
No, for getting rid of the card.
Oh, full chat. Yep.
Boom. Look at that.
There we go. So, Handler Militia Captain and the Pious Evangel.
Mm-hmm.
An interesting choice to be running in a Walker's deck. So,
Oath of Gideon gets you 2 creatures, which means you only need 1 other creature.
and Gideon
to-
himself.
Yeah, and
It's-
Gideon himself. Well, he doesn't count himself for being able to flip a Handler Militia Captain.
But he creates tokens.
Yes.
So, it's a little bit unusual, but I can get behind this.
It is pretty cool. And here we see Jacob casting Pour of the Pages and gaining a life off of it. But Pour of the Pages has been one of the more impressive cards, I want to say. It does not run Brain in the Jar, so it's just Mono Blue Prison.
If you-
Being able to untap
If you want to add
is
that
worth it
into
as
the
well.
game. Hey, Ruler of Some. I actually don't think that I've seen you in the chat before. And that's awesome. So welcome. It's great having you. And I hope that you're enjoying the show. And if I'm an awful person and I just didn't recognize it, welcome back. And I'm sorry. So, Cryptolith Rite, 2 creatures, and Oath of Nissa. He can cast a good amount. And we do have the Oath of Gideon.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to gain a little bit of life here. Going up to 24, is that correct?
Gosh, both these players is going up by 1 by everything they do.
Hooray! Look at these two go.
Grabbing 2 tokens.
Now, who do you think has the edge in this matchup? Because my thought is Greg, only because, like, if he resolves a single walker, that gives him a pretty big advantage against a deck that's, like, trying to keep you from doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When you have more than one player doing
Yeah.
stuff, it definitely helps out a lot.
I think the Mono Blue has an edge up in this because a lot of Greg's walkers either make tokens or turn into a creature themselves. And a lot of Mono Blue's bounce stuff is going to be able to deal with that very efficiently.
Okay.
And so if Jacob's able to set up a turn where he bounces everything with Engulf the Shores and then follows it up with Apart the Water Veil, he can suddenly just kill Greg when it looks like he is in a losing position.
So it looks like we've got a plant token coming down now. I did say that, but then these two seemed like they were doing well, and I wanted to pick people who were doing well. Kyle, this does not seem to be the conventional Naya deck. No, but welcome
No.
for joining. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Welcome for joining us.
Welcome. Thank you. Welcome. 2-1 card with Madness is discarded when you can choose to pay its cost. I don't believe so.
It goes into exile, and then if you choose not to cast it, we go to the graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
So no.
The whole exile thing is just trying to make the transition, or the learning curve rather, for Madness smoother.
Yeah.
So Greg's Naya deck. I don't even know if it is just Naya. Did you say it was just Naya? Because
He said Naya Walkers.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's also splashing black for a Sorin. But he also just doesn't technically have to splash it. But this is the card I believe that's going to make it that Jacob has the upper hand in this. Engulf the Swords is just an incredibly powerful card. It's probably the biggest reason that Mono Blue Prison is able to be a thing. Just because with so many islands, you're able to just play a land and bounce pretty much everything.
Well, we now have Tyler's deck list.
Oh, sweet.
I, in fact, have all the deck lists from our GPT yesterday.
Well, from standing yesterday. You
Yep.
have mine in there somewhere.
I do. I'm trying to get you to Jacob's deck.
Okay. I don't know if Jacob... was he here yesterday?
He was.
Sweet. So Greg just playing more creatures, gaining some more life. Doing his thing. And Jacob up at 20. Gosh, these 1-point swings.
Right.
Oh, man.
This game is, apparently I'm awful at getting aggro decks. Is what I'm learning.
There's not a lot of aggro decks in the front right now. It's like white-blue humans, and that's about it. Then the rogue mono-white humans. But here we see Jace's Sanctum.
Gideon, I'm still working on getting that stacks deck from the player. I haven't been able to get a list from them yet, but they're aware that I'm looking for it.
No, discarding does not use the stack. If it's part of the card, or part of the resolution of the spell, then no, it does not. So if you're looking to madness something out with discard, your opponent doesn't get a chance in between you saying, I'm going to discard this madness card, and then you casting it. There's no point in between that your opponent can do something.
Okay.
So Greg coming in for another 4. Which I just feel like we're bouncing Jacob's life total back and forth between 18 and 24.
Wait until
Just
you do
over
Soul
and over
Sisters
and
in
over.
Modern. Or Norn Sisters. Yeah.
It's all points of 1.
Rule of Sun, don't get... Oh, I am so thrilled that aggro exists in Standard.
Oh, double.
It's almost enough to make me think about putting one together, especially since I may not be back here for all of our Standard events.
It'd be cool to see you out there with me every now and again.
Every now and again.
So Greg just doubling up on all of his stuff.
My goodness. The interesting thing, it's too bad the Passive Angel only is when they die, not when they leave the battlefield, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's unfortunate, otherwise you'd be able to go pretty nicely against the bounce spell.
Yeah. One thing that's also unfortunate is when you bounce a token, it just ceases to exist since tokens can be in your hand, but that doesn't count as killing a token, and so it won't trigger anything, which is kind of a sad thing.
Westland, good to know. It's been a while since I haven't really played much with the new Madness cards.
Alright, cool. One thing that's kind of cool with Pour Over the Pages is the ordering of the card. And there's Engulf just bouncing everything Greg has, again, for 3 mana, and scry 1, and gain a life.
Hooray!
And here's Dazen doing, so everything that he just bounced into Greg's hand is just going to get shuffled away now. Bye-bye. You can do something else. I forget what I was saying, though.
That's so. I mean, the fact is that like, it's so funny because Greg was talking about like, there's not enough dice when he was walking. He was like, "There's not enough dice at the table." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "There's just not." And I was like, "Even with the other 2?" He's like, "There's just not." So we'll see what happens.
Pardon me. Oh, I was talking about Pour Over the Pages. One thing that's sweet you can do with Pour Over the Pages is it draws you cards, untaps lands, and then makes you discard.
It's Monday.
Today's Monday, yes.
That means that our playmat winner got it today.
Oh, yeah! Do you remember who got it?
Yeah, that one was.
They should take a picture and
that
send
one,
it.
I believe, went to Juice.
Juice,
Yeah,
if
they
you are
were
here...
they were in our modern stream.
Juice, if you are here, please take a picture of it and post it on Twitter or just here or something so we can get it. It'd be super cool to see you with it.
Well, yeah, it was Juice. It was Juice.
Juice it up. Chandra, this is probably the best card in the form, or in the mirror, because outside of dealing damage with an awakened land, I don't see Jacob being able to take care of it. It's also just 6 damage every
That's
turn.
a lot of damage. And Jacob doesn't have a whole lot of ways to get in front of it either.
It also takes out a Rise from the Tides. Like, if Jacob ever tries to go out with a Rise from the Tides, Greg can just -2 Chandra and kill like 30 zombies.
Which feels good.
Yeah, I've seen it before.
Have you?
Yeah, it was fantastic.
It's funny, right as you're mentioning that, Haunted Herring, looking forward to see how this deck can possibly deal with Resolve Genre. It's a good question, and the answer, as far as we've come up with, is actually let's look at the list. We can tell you exactly what.
I'm pretty sure the only way is using an Awakened Land from Part the Water Veil. But I mean, if you're doing that, you can also just hit. But also, Greg's at 33.
You are correct. You are absolutely correct. There is no other way to handle that in this deck.
Does he have Disperse in the sideboard? What's his sideboard?
Displacement Wave, Invasive Surgery, Negate, and Thing in the Ice. Thing in the Ice is...
I don't see him beating a Chandra.
No, not really. Not...
That's going to be real hard.
Through the power of love from Rule of Some.
This deck is anything but love. This deck is not... the word prison is in it.
I mean, nah, let's not walk down that path. So Jacob at 20, to Greg's 33. And see...
Also, Greg's just getting a lot of life. Like, the mono blue deck has to chain together Part the Water Veils, and when they resolve, they exile themselves. And so you can't just keep getting them back and do it again and again and again and again and again indefinitely. You do technically only have 4 of them, and then with a Chandra in play, Rise from the Tides isn't going to be able to get it. Isn't really going to be able to get it. He's going to have to be able to cast Rise the Tides from a lot and get apart the Water Veil, which he technically could do, but Jacob's avenues to victory are getting slim.
Yeah, and the more and like Greg just needs to keep plussing. Those plant tokens are going to be a great tool against like just the random.
Random awakened land.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
just throw it in the way.
Yep. I'll block.
Okay.
Also, these oaths. I forget what Oath of Gideon does.
Oath of Gideon.
Yeah, because Greg has Planeswalkers in play and Oaths, which we don't actually see a lot of very often.
No, that's a good point. Each planeswalker enters with an additional loyalty counter.
Okay.
That's not insignificant. Okay. Actually, that's not bad.
So here's...
He could play Gideon right now,
Nope,
minus it.
nope, that's wrong. There we go.
He could play Gideon, minus it. It would still be alive, swim with 4 2s, and be making 1/2 plants.
That's pretty good.
It's not bad.
So if Jacob lets this game go on for too much longer, Greg's just going to get too much value. And there's another Oath of Nissa. Probably looking to find another Gideon.
I would expect so. And I don't... oh, there's another Nissa in there, but not great right now.
She's not that great in multiples. Unless you have the big board and you know you can keep it.
Okay.
I think Gideon's alright. I think of the cards he can have, one of the better ones is Gideon. Because it doesn't automatically fold to a Engulf the Shores.
I mean, like, Greg doesn't need anything right now.
Yeah.
All that Greg is doing is just making a more active clock because he just needs to actually beat the prisms.
Mm-hmm.
That's... But Jacob doesn't really have a way of winning.
Yeah.
So, I think the biggest thing is just, like, Greg's mission right now is to move as quickly into Game 2 as he can.
Yeah. The first Oath is destroyed. It's a graveyard. It just happens to be above his deck.
Okay.
So Greg using up all the space on the table.
I do not know if Greg runs Arlen right now.
I doubt it, but I mean, realistically, he could be running any Planeswalker in Standard.
I think theoretically. I'm not sure if I would go...
Probably.
I'm not sure if I would go realistically.
Probably not realistically, but I mean, if he untaps, draws a card, and drops down a Jace, sure, he could.
JJ Ness, it is going great. Where do we get those dice? Which dice do you mean? Though I will say the D6s, we can no longer get them. We've been trying to. We can't anymore. We're looking for them as much as we can.
They're cool.
They're extremely useful. I want another. I would buy another like 3 sets of them if I could.
Alright, so Gideon Emblem and Chandra making 4 2s. Pretty good. Oh, we got lifelink from the Lantern Scout.
Beautiful. So we're at 21 by the look of it.
41.
41. There's another white D20, but whatever.
There's not enough dice.
There's not enough dice.
Not enough dice.
I was very explicitly told that, actually. So, maybe I should have learned my lesson.
Double Jace's Sanctum out, so his spells cost 2 less, and they scry 1 twice, and gain him 2 life. Like, this is just ultimate value on blue spells.
But
Nagging Thoughts cost 1, scry 2, then look at the top 2, and gain 2 life.
JJ Ness, I forgive you. Though they probably don't interact with you nearly as well as we do. I don't really know who it is, so I can't speak to that, but... Okay.
A 3rd Prism Ring. Greg also just has to fight through this life gain. Like, yes, he's dealing 8 a turn, but Jacob's also potentially gaining upwards of 9 life a turn. Like...
That's a lot.
That's not an insignificant amount. That's quite a bit.
I would love to see it. Like, I really hope that we don't see a game 1 draw here. I would have...
It could happen. Fire Pyro, thanks for hitting the follow button.
What a great name!
Welcome to the Fortnights.
What a great name!
You have tickled TJ.
What a great name! The Legacy Extravaganza. Actually, I think that you're watching Legacy from essentially our neighbors. Okay.
No, he said he'll be back on Saturday.
Yep, for our Legacy Extravaganza.
Oh, he's watching Card Kingdom.
Yeah.
Okay. They're right down.
They're our neighbors.
Pretty
They're about
They're cool people.
40 minutes south of us.
They're good people.
Hope Greg wins by Jacob milling himself. That's a realistic possibility.
I don't think so with multiple days in doing. Is Days Undoing exile itself?
It does. It does exile itself.
Days.
I mean, the problem is that it would just take a long time, though. Oh God, do you know?
It doesn't exile itself, so you shuffle Days Undoing in.
No.
So Jacob pretty much can't mill himself. However, it does also mean that Greg wants to mill. And if Greg just keeps drawing Planeswalkers...
Now, there is one Days of Doing in exile right now. Oh my goodness.
How'd that one get exiled?
This is fantastic.
I hope you have your snacks, because we're going to be here for a little while. Approximately 30 minutes, to be exact.
Does it?
Let's see. You guys can read as well. Shuffles their hand in their graveyard into their library. Draw 7 cards. If it's your turn, it's no longer your turn. Why is this happening? This is Magic.
Luke, Elspeth and Kiora, Kiora is still in Standard. Elspeth is not, but there are other Planeswalker. There are other characters that happen to have Planeswalker cards.
Yeah. The Kiora in Standard right now just doesn't have a deck. At least, is there a Kiora?
No, blue-green isn't around. And I think you are correct. And see here.
Oh, since it resolves before it goes in the graveyard, it does exile itself. Since your turn's being ended.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it does exile itself. Through a roundabout way, but it does.
Huh. That's pretty cool.
It'd be cleaner if it just said exile Days Undoing.
Except it wouldn't actually do anything.
What is he doing? Oh, part the Waterville. So this is the avenue of play that Jacob has in order for winning the game. He did Engulf the Shores to bounce all of Greg's creatures. And then untapped and played a Part the Watervale Awakened. He's probably going to have another one. That is a 6/6, not a 6/7.
That is a 6/6. They're just using the big die.
Because they're running low on dice.
My
Look, they
goodness.
cleaned it up.
They cleaned it up a lot.
Well, there's no more creatures on Greg's side.
So Greg up to a 35.
Jacob's
down
going to
to
untap his lands.
Jacob down to 35.
Greg.
And making it enormous.
Boom, now it's a 12/12. And he gets an extra turn.
So I guess he actually is going to be able to take down the Chandra.
If he wants. It looks like he's just going face, though.
That's really bold when your opponent's at 35 and they're
Face
gonna
is the
kill you.
place.
He's going face?
Down to 22.
That's super bold.
23, sorry. My math.
With a Hydro Lash. I mean, he gets to take another turn. If Jacob has another one, then he's going to be swinging for 18.
He's doing a lot of scrying, a lot of digging. There's another Anticipate.
Oh
Scry
my
2,
goodness.
and
Is
then
this
look.
going to happen? I may have been a little bit too swift on counting this out. Jacob, if you're watching this later, I apologize. My goodness.
Just watching the mono blue deck go off and go for the win is impressive.
No, I'm learning my lesson about calling that shot. Oh my goodness.
Draw for-
Elspeth is better than
untap,
Kiora.
Draw for turn. That's a 12/12 creature. He's got a bunch of Days Undoing. There's a pour over the pages.
I mean, if he doesn't have the other Days in doing,
I mean, he gets to scry 2 and then draw 3
your odds are decent.
for 1 mana, essentially, because he's untapping 2 lands as well.
Yeah, your odds are pretty solid. Oh my goodness.
He's got a bunch of Engulf the Shores, though. But, I mean, even... Let's see, how many lands does he have? Oh, got it.
I mean, it's not a kill yet.
It's a 24/24. Or, no,
No, that's an 18.
18/18, but he has 2 turns with it. Hit you now, take my extra turn, hit you.
No way! You're right!
Boom! Hit you, go to 5. Boom, there's the game.
Oh my goodness! When's the last time you saw that?
Yesterday, actually.
Fair enough. That's sweet. That's real neat. That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty decent.
It's super dece. Oh man.
Yeah. If Mono Blue gets the setup and just gets the lands, it just goes ridiculous.
That was what? That was way overkill.
Yeah.
Hold on. That was
So he hit for 6.
13 over.
And then he hit
that
for
was
12.
over. No, that was 13 over. That was 13 over 30. That was a hit for 46.
Yeah.
He hit across 46.
In essentially one turn.
In. Oh my goodness. For 46.
What list is this? This is a mono blue prison deck
Oh man.
that Jacob is playing.
Did he name it? Yeah, he named it Prison.
Mono blue prison.
Oh man, that is super cool.
It's basically just draw spells with Engulf the Shore and Jace's Sanctum and Prison Ring to make sure you don't die. And then you do what he did there. Awaken, part the Water Veil, and do it again 3 more times.
Tap Sphere, what did he use to buff the Awakened land? He kept casting more Awakened Part the Water Veils. And,
Onto
you,
the
and it's still a creature, or it's still a land, so you can continue to target that same land with the Awaken ability. So it ended up just putting 6 counters on it, then another 6 counters on it, then another 6 counters on it. Oh, I love it. Oh god, yeah, I am loving it.
He is not running Brain in a Jar. Card's too slow.
Apparently it's too slow.
Too slow.
But we're going to have Greg on the play here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so thrilled by this right now.
So how do you feel about Greg's chances now in Game 2?
Um,
Not knowing their sideboard, but after watching that.
Okay, so knowing the sideboard, I know that Jacob's match isn't getting any better.
He's probably going to bring in Thing in the Ice, just so he has a...
More creature bounce.
By the way, he would also probably bring in Negates.
Retnub, thanks for the follow.
He probably brings in Negates to fight whatever Greg is bringing in against him.
Otherwise, for Greg, I mean, do you think he's running any, like, Crumble, anything like that in the sideboard? I could see that being a thing.
I don't know.
So, Brain in a Jar is apparently too slow.
Brain in a Jar is too slow.
Tainted Remedy for the prisoners. I'm not sure how much like artifact destruction we could expect from Greg, but if he's got some, that's going to be pretty key.
Mm-hmm.
Just being able to take down the prisms, because like that was the biggest thing that kept Jacob alive.
Absolutely.
Expert Gods, thank you so much for the follow. Looks like we're getting a little bit of a chain lightning, a tiny little lightning, some static electricity happening in there. Thanks for the follow. We hope that you're enjoying the show. I'm curious, who here found us from the... Well, actually, if you are brand new, one thing that I ask is, let me know how you found us. I would love to know. And secondly, Jay Benner, thank you so much.
Definitely.
And also, if you happen to find us from that Reddit thread, and again, I do hate asking for it, but if you ever want to toss some good words in there,
Good words.
I certainly appreciate it. And thank you to Pidgeoff for doing the post.
So Greg doing Cryptolith Rights.
Amoeba Cowboy. What
That's
a
so
great
cool.
name.
That's great.
That is super cool. And we pronounced it right. I bet you're impressed by that.
I was still trying to figure it out, and you just did it. That was pretty good.
Yep. You found us while browsing the MTG channels on Twitch. Well,
Welcome.
I hope that you're having a good time. Thank you so much. That's good information for us to have. So thank
Absolutely.
you. So a rights into a Nissa.
That's pretty slow.
That is excellent.
That's pretty slow.
Hello, Aaron. Thanks for joining. So,
Jacob just cycling a Hydrolash.
mm-hmm. A Carduna, 30. Thank you so much for hitting that follow button. We certainly appreciate it. You found us through a wormhole in the time-space continuum.
Oh man.
I think you get points for the farthest traveled
Yeah.
by internet waves. I think we've had people from Australia, and we've had a lot of people in Europe. And
I don't know about the future though. That's pretty good.
yeah, I don't think that we've had anybody that went through both time and space. That's
What is
impressive.
that? That is a Westvale Abbey.
It is an altered Westvale Abbey.
What is it? It looked like a Bob's Burger.
Oh no,
dude!
dude! That looks like a Bob's Burger. I'm just gonna go look at it and find out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Greg just plussing this. Botulator. Thank you very much for hitting the follow button. Joining the Fortnites. Very cool. TJ figuring out what this is.
It's King of the Hill.
Oh, it's King of the Hill. The flip side is just an angry king. Oh my gosh.
Fantastic.
That is hilarious.
Welcome from Alaska, Tapsphere. That's great. Oh.
Deck beats Reality Smasher. Greg tapping a bunch of mana. Gonna do something. Probably... What's 6 mana instance? Oh, he's just making a guy with Westfall Abbey.
Nice. Getting more creatures out.
Dealing a damage to himself with it in the process.
In the end, it's actually kind of producing him a mana, and he has the Chandra in hand.
Does he?
Yeah.
Sweet.
He's about to drop that one down. He's got a good amount of the mana, and he can actually produce the Ormondal as well.
Okay.
Like, not in the
Yeah.
same turn, but if you're looking at the way to beat this deck, this is pretty good.
He's pretty good, yeah.
If you can drop a Chandra, he has an Atarka's Command too. He has 2.
That's real good.
He has 2 Chandras. But
Can he cast Chandra plus and cast Target's Command
I don't
for
think
value?
so. I mean, by keeping back 2 of the creatures, yes. Basically,
He could also plus Chandra.
and then use the 2 plant tokens. to
Well,
actually
and minus
cast the
Nissa.
Atarka's Command.
Minus this to put counters on the plane.
And then we're looking at 1, 2, 3,
I'm sorry,
4,
Jason.
5, 6. So we're looking for at 10 damage plus, so that's 13.
Just 7.
Or just 7.
Greg should be at 19.
Yep.
Never mind. More than 7.
Yep. So knocks down to 13, then just an additional 3, so down to 10. So Jacob down to 10, and Greg has got a kill next turn.
Can you tell Greg he's at 19? Westfall Abbey pinged him.
Also, there are elemental tokens in there.
But there's not enough dice.
Rule of thumb, we are located in Snohomish, Washington. It's in the Pacific Northwest of the U.S. If any of you are at all local, feel free to stop by for our many weekly events. Greg currently at 20, but Jacob's 11.
Greg should be at 19.
Wink, wink. Oh, is he?
Yeah, he activated Westfall Abbey. But so Jacob just casting Days and doing hopefully to find and engulf the
Did
shores.
you get your life loss from activating the
Because that's going to be the best way for him to stay alive. But it also gives Greg a new grip of cards. And after resolving Planeswalkers, it's not always the best idea of giving your opponent with Planeswalkers 7 new cards.
It might be.
It might. It's
Hey,
possible.
Houston, I think I'm actually going to be in Dallas in November for the GP there, so maybe we'll meet. Increasing Devotion is a fantastic card.
Oh, this is the one that gives you a bunch of dudes, then flash it back for double the dudes.
Yep.
That's sweet.
Gideon, excellent. Thanks for the tweet. Hopefully you're able to see anybody who does want to follow me at Red Baron MTG. You can go to my Twitter and see Coleman, like a YouTube video of Coleman dancing to Maniac, which is great.
You could also watch videos on TJ eating a Tybalt, becoming one with his Panomancer.
Oh, it's so painful. It was really bad.
Coming to the Orlando.
Yes, a lot of us are going to GP Portland.
I am. He is.
Bryce and Eric will be. Coleman will be.
Wow, that's a lot of us.
Yeah.
Is that all?
Nathan, I think, is going down there.
Is that all of the streamers?
Pretty much all the streamers are going to be down there.
Sweet. Very cool. Please, it'd be so cool to have all of us take a picture with a bunch of Fortnites.
Okay.
That would be so cool.
I would be thrilled.
So Greg, meanwhile, plussing Chandra,
Control the Penguin? Yes.
coming in to deal some damage. Jacob's still looking for an Engulf the Shores, I imagine. I don't know if he has it in hand, but if he doesn't, he's been taking a lot of damage.
Okay. What standard decks do we play? I'll let you answer that one first.
I play Black-Green Sacrifice. I also play Jund. I gotta find a deck for TJ to play.
I don't really play standard right now, and mostly because if I wanted to put together a deck, I would never play it because I'm in here every Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't actually play it, but if I was, I'd probably be playing Mono Red Goggles because I like red.
Goggles is so cool.
Right. How much are we saving going as a group or whatever? Because we're taking the train down and we're doing some room splitting and things like that. Techno Hippo, it's great to see you.
Endless Hornet. This is Mono Blue Prison playing against Naya Walkers.
It's beautiful.
It's wonderful.
I have thought about doing White Red Humans since I saw the list looks pretty cool. It's got a little bit less red than I like in a deck, but
It's mostly mono white splashing red.
but I'd consider it. If they make a Tybalt, then a bunch of us that don't play a whole lot of Standard are just going to put together a sweet Tybalt brew and be on the same 75, taking it by storm.
Rising cost of Tybalt.
Yep,
I really hope they make a Tybalt.
I really do too. Okay.
Excuse me.
What's the prison element of it? The prisms, interestingly enough.
Yeah,
and
prism.
Basically, it just continually casts spells and gains life, and keeps you from actually doing a whole lot to them. So,
Like, swinging for 6 from this Chandra is sounds pretty good. I'm going to hit you for 6, okay, hit you for 7, alright, hit you for 6 again. But however, if Jacob is able to cast like 2 or 3 spells in a single turn, these 2 prisms are just going to gain him all that life back. Like, it's not going to really do anything or amount to anything.
yeah, and with Jacob at 13 right now, he does have 2 mana up, so he might be able to tap down a creature.
Mm-hmm.
But the Westvale Abbey is a real threat right now.
For Greg?
Like, against Jacob. For Greg has got... I don't know.
Yes.
But honestly, he's probably just doing fine. Like, that's a pretty good board. So we're going to anticipate, and we're looking for something, but this is
This is pretty big. This is 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This is 14. This is almost lethal. As soon as I update the leftovers.
This is almost lethal, and Greg, I don't think has it. I mean, if he had an Atarka Squint in hand, he would have used it in response to the Prism.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob continuing to dig, looking for some kind of answer.
In the meantime, just gaining 2 life every time he casts a spell. That's pretty good. But,
Haunted Herring, I can understand your thoughts, though it's basically that's the list that they asked me, and it's the one that it's been getting called. But it's a reasonable thing there.
I like calling it Prism, Mono Blue Prism.
That's
personally.
way more... Like, I like that, actually. Okay.
I'm going to change it.
Do it.
Mono Blue Prism. I have the power.
Yeah, you do. Done.
Do
maybe
it.
Maybe that's why it was originally supposed to be Mono Blue Prism, and it just
Someone
got
just-
completely misinterpreted all the way to the end.
Possibly. I thought it was Prism, and then I actually read it. A 3rd Prism. Jeez.
Gains 3 life back up to 20.
It is so... And another Jace's Sanctum. So... Gosh. What is
That,
it?
like,
22.
Jacob might take this in 2. That's just huge.
That's so much life gain.
yeah.
And I don't see Greg having enough...
Watervale
burst.
would be another good name for it. So
There's one way to do it, though.
that's a pretty decently sized
Screw the waste
secure
for
waste.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Screw the waste for 7.
Endless Hornet, I'm not sure about what you mean by that, but it's similar like any other. There's always a deck that beats you. So every deck has weaknesses, every deck has strengths.
Yep.
Hey,
Logan and
Nanarath,
TJ.
it's great to see you. Endless Hornet, unfortunately that doesn't work all the time. Some of the best decks have, there's a variety of strategies and some are weak to others.
Every card is a weakness. Part of the thing in Magic is that certain colors have certain weaknesses. Red is a hard way of dealing with enchantments and stuff like that. Or if their opponent just has life gain, it's hard for a red deck to get through that. Black doesn't have a lot of ways to deal with non-creatures. White has zero card advantage or card draw.
Green can't deal with other creatures.
Yeah. And then blue, once something's on the table, it's really hard for a blue deck to deal with it, like we see with this Chandra.
At least permanently.
Yeah.
Ruler of Some, I can't wait to see you next time. Okay, so... I mean, it's another swing-in, but, like, Jacob is rocking it right now.
Yeah. Like, Greg is doing a lot. He just flipped a Westvale Abbey into the King of the Hill.
Into the King of the Hill.
And it's a 10-8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Jacob can't bounce it with a Engulf the Shores. It's too big.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And it looks like we are getting a minus to put a +1/+1 counter on it. Which
Make it
makes
even bigger.
an 11-9. And...
My favorite thing about this right now is Ormondal taps for mana.
interestingly enough, that is true. Should you run Managorger, Hydra, or Lambhole Pacifist?
I personally would say Pacifist.
I think the Pacifist is more...
The 2-drop is more relevant. And it gets bigger faster. The Managorger Hydra is good, but it starts so small that it's going to die a lot of the time before it can get big. However, Managorger Hydra has a bigger upside.
Going
And
down to
life's a little
15 after
swabber.
taking, like... Took way more than 15, but gained 3.
That is a 10... what, 10-8?
Yes.
Ormondal?
Yep.
Actually, he should be 11 because the Gideon Emblem. You want to mind him? It should be one more.
Hey, did they account for the Gideon emblem and damage there? I'm actually asking. They did? Okay, cool.
They did? Okay. My bad then. It is 28 and 15 then.
Yep. Whew.
Oath of Gideon, 2 more tokens.
Gaining a life. Up to 29.
Oh my gosh. Why did you gain life?
I
guess they didn't.
No, I think
Boom.
I think they,
I was right.
Okay, yeah, you were apparently correct, but John probably mentioned it because like John was like, and I was like, okay, and then he probably just mentioned it to him and.
Mm-hmm.
And an Arlen Cord joining. So yes, Arlen Cord is in this deck. Bet nailed that question.
Boom. Boom, got it.
My man.
My man.
And there's the part of the water veil. And Jacob's going for it.
Almost because he just has to.
I mean, he's got a lot of damage facing him down. Interestingly enough, the High Priest being attached means that he's not under a huge amount of risk.
Yeah, but he's allowing Greg to block. Which
It
is
could be that he
interesting.
just hasn't drawn into the Whelming Wave yet.
Or he just has multiple part the water veils and it's like, I'll just cast them all.
That is looking like it. Oh, man. So,
Jacob's got some scry action with Adjacent Sanctums. That is a 12/12 land.
and he is going to end up taking 12 next turn, possibly 18. And, I mean, depending on what Jacob has.
He's got another one. He's like, yeah, you can keep blocking, but eventually I'm going to hit you for
Does he
18 and
have
then take
another one
another
at
turn.
hand?
It doesn't
think he
matter
does.
because now it's an 18/18, and he gets another turn after this. So he's going to hit him for 18, put him down to
This deck's
11.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
I love it.
Because now Greg takes 18, goes down to 11.
And then
And
he's
Greg
gonna
is riding
untap.
the wall, and yeah,
Oh my goodness.
there's game.
Alright, do you want to get it set for us to head back up, and I'll see if I can get us game 3 with about 11 minutes left.
Good.
To the 127 people who are here, thank you so much for watching. My name's TJ,
I'm Logan.
and we're streaming from Geek Fortress. He'll tell you a lot more about our schedule and some fun things going on. Stick with us, because we are going to be getting more standard on, and we do have another round up after this one. So, don't go anywhere. It's going to be a good time. And if you want to go for it, I'll go see what I can find for us.
All right. Welcome back. TJ is out grabbing us another round, but my name is Logan. We are here streaming standard in round 3 of 4. Tell us more, new guy. I'm the new guy. I guess I'm the new guy. We stream 4 times a week. We do standard on Mondays at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. We do modern on Wednesdays at 7:30 Pacific Standard Time. We do Legacy on Fridays at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And Modern again on Saturday starting at 6 Pacific Standard Time. I am not TJ. However, I like to think I'm pretty cool. We kind of look similar without sideburns and stuff. But I am learning the ropes so that when TJ's not here, I can fill in for him and help out as much as I can. Please ask me any questions you have. Please tell me how I'm doing, things you like, things you don't like. It's the best way for me to learn. I'm always looking to progressively get better and try and learn new things. Plus, it's also a blast just talking with you guys. Find me some Seasons Pass. We've already had Seasons Pass on here. It was pretty cool watching him go off. We might be able to get him on again. Thanks, Viewbot. SCG Viewbot. Appreciate it. How'd it go?
The only ones that we have left are approaching the end of their match.
Okay.
So,
We'll be getting ready for the next round.
do I? No, he doesn't play Affinity.
I don't. I tried it once, and Arcbound Ravager is a lot harder to play than it looks. Card is not easy.
Let's see. Find the Seasons Pass. Actually, that one will likely be in finals. Tell us more about the new guy. Is that you?
I guess so.
All right, Fire Pyro. Thank you so much for the production. Oh, did you already do that?
Mm-hmm. Favorite standard card? Nissa. Not close. But I'm biased.
Let's see here. What's my favorite standard card? That's a
Chandra.
good question. Chandra
Chandra
Flamecaller. She's so cool. Absolutely. Actually, Tyler might be in the finals, so there's a decent
cool.
chance that will
Might
be
see
a
him
good
anyways.
win. Exactly.
It's a cool deck.
Let's learn more about you. Have you played our? Have you learned our? Okay. So tell me a bit about. Did you tell about how you got into the game? When you started?
I started It's what, 2016? I started 8 years ago.
Okay.
Me and a buddy of mine bought a dual deck. We just dirked around playing that, and I got tired of borrowing his deck, so I started buying my own stuff.
Nice. That's a good way to go about it.
Yeah.
Did you say what your favorite strategy is?
Ramp. Ramp is my favorite. Mono green all the way. I am very much a green mage.
Alessandro Hirayama. Nailed it. Did I get it right that time?
Alessandro Hirayama.
I messed it up last time, so hopefully I got it this time.
Mr.
What's your
Non-fan.
under the radar card?
Under the radar card.
I'm gonna say the one that returned the land that goes back to the battlefield from the graveyard.
I'm gonna say Dragonlord Kolaghan.
Oh, that card's pretty sweet, actually.
I haven't seen it very much. I'm trying it out in my Jund deck, but I got beaten by that card yesterday, and it was pretty big.
What's your favorite planeswalker of all time? Tibble.
Nissa.
Tibble.
Nissa.
I have 91. I would have had 92, but I had to eat one. And it was possibly the worst Magic-related
No,
experience of my life.
You still have 92. It's just one's part of you now.
Yeah,
At least until
that was
it goes away.
probably the worst Magic-related experience of my life. That was really bad.
It was fun to watch.
So, Mr. Non-Affinity Player, tell us about you. Hey, that's you. We're just learning a little bit about you. Do you prefer strawberry or grape jelly? I'm all about strawberry. I don't like grapes or raisins, interestingly enough.
I don't know.
I like wine, though.
Probably strawberry. It depends on what I'm doing with it. If I'm wanting like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I tend to go with grape. But if I'm just doing like toast and jelly on it, then strawberry.
Okay. That's a reasonable point.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like pineapple on your pizza?
No, absolutely not. I think pineapple should be nowhere near pizza.
Oh, man.
Firebird Patrol. Patrol's pretty good. My biggest qualm with it is it's a 4-mana 3/3.
If other Planeswalkers tasted better, would they be my new favorite? I'm not going to try eating cards for some time. That was legitimately awful. Like, after I finished that, I just went to bed and, like, wondered if I was going to throw up.
Arlencourt's good.
It was so unpleasant.
Gosh. Arlencourt is good. Her biggest problem right now is she's trying to do too many different things. Usually the turn you're playing her, you're making a wolf to flip her. And then at that point, like, yeah, you can plus her and make a ton of your dudes, but it requires you to play a ton of creatures before you play her, which means you're expecting all of your creatures to live through 3 turns, and that's just not realistic.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, because she's super, super cool. She's just... I think if her Anthem and Trample was on the front side, she would see a lot more play, because then you can build a board and then play her and Anthem your guys and then hit, as opposed to play her, make a guy, hope everything lives and goes right, and then you can Anthem. And unfortunately, it's just not the way it works in competitive Magic.
So let's learn a little bit more about you, Logan. You've done this stream a couple times with me.
A few.
You are you're a much more standard player than anything else.
Yes.
But you have also very much enjoyed Limited.
Yes, I love Limited.
Limited would probably be your second favorite.
Absolutely.
So how about what's your favorite card? Favorite card? Yep, it's a big question.
It is a very big question.
You can say of the day, and this can change in the future. I'm not going to hold you to it forever.
I'm going to say the card that has... Oh, no, I know. Okay, see the end written.
That card's pretty sweet, but how come not the trap that does a very similar thing?
Because it only gets one creature.
That's
See
fair.
the written gets 2.
Okay.
Which is strictly better.
That makes sense. That makes sense to me. The math checks out.
Oh, but there's also Dictated the Twin Gods.
Luke, we don't talk politics on here. Very specifically.
Yeah.
We avoid some of the more... In our efforts to be positive and to foster a community that is very positive towards one another, we try to avoid some of the more...
Trying to be friendly.
Contentious subjects. So...
Summoning Trap is super good. It's definitely one of the cards that got me in. But some of my pet cards, Dictated the Twin Gods.
I remember your days in that one. Those were cool days.
I had an old deck that would use Boros Reckoner and Dictated the Twin Gods, and then Fated Conflagration. So Boros Reckoner is a 3-mana 3/3. Whenever it's dealt damage, it deals damage to something else. Dictated the Twin Gods doubles all damage. And so if I have a Reckoner out, I shoot it for 5 damage. The 5 damage is doubled to 10 on the creature.
Doubles to 20.
And then the creature is dealing another instance of damage, so it then doubles to 20. And so
You got me with it once.
there was so many times I'd have a Boros Reckoner in play, and Dictated Twin God says flash. So end of your turn, flash in my enchantment, untap, shoot my guy for 5, hit you for 20. It was sweet.
remember that deck.
That deck was so much fun.
Oh, it was so funny. Oh my goodness. Sorry, what are your thoughts on the MTG movie and their pre-production? Okay.
Movie?
Yeah, and you know who it's being written by? Someone whose name I suddenly spaced out on, like literally 4 seconds ago, but he's one of the writers for Game of Thrones.
Okay,
Which
okay.
gives me a huge amount of help. Like, a huge amount of hope for the movie. I'm actually thinking that it's going to be pretty excellent. Brian Cogman.
Brian Cogman.
Fantastic. His episodes are generally fantastic. They can do a really good job with this. They have a lot of potential. I'll be more curious to see what storyline they go with, because they have a huge swath of stories to pick from, and a lot of ways to go about it. And if they go about it in a way that is legitimately interesting, and I think that Brian, coming from the experience of Game of Thrones, in which it's something that's able to follow multiple characters, something that Magic is very known for, very disconnected storylines, but tying them to, like, making them flow in a very good way. Like, the experience that he has from the show that he's currently doing really strikes me as being ideal for a Magic movie, because you have so many disconnected but key characters. And
Okay.
apparently our green screen is getting a little bit fuzzy. There's a reason why I'm buying an HD camera tomorrow. We've been recently overloading our camera a little bit.
A little bit.
So I
Poor
apologize
guy.
for that, for everybody. The green screen should be getting fixed pretty soon.
Okay. Movie sounds sweet. I'm excited for the Warcraft movie.
Doubles the damage to Palm, then doubles it back.
Yeah.
Deflecting Palm was not in the
Deflecting
deck
Palm
at the time.
It was in a later iteration of the deck that didn't have Boros Reckoner. It was basically the replacement for Boros Reckoner
Round four?
when Reckoner was gone. She's going to go find another match. But that deck was sweet. It definitely helped me continue to play Magic a lot. It was a lot of fun. Another card that I really liked was Polymorph. That was my delve into blue decks, because before Polymorph I didn't really do much. But then Polymorph was like, I can do giant creatures in a
mono
non-blue
blue deck is one of the finalists against Texas.
Okay.
How are we feeling about that?
How's Tyler for Seasons Past? Because if anything,
He's going up against another deck that we've seen before, but we haven't seen Texas before.
okay, let's get the finalists.
Okay.
All right, so it looks like we're gonna have Texas, Austin, who will be playing Jund. I'm assuming TJ didn't tell me. I'm assuming he's playing Jund because he usually does, against the mono blue deck again. And since they're in the finals, we usually put the finalists up here if we've seen them or not, because they won. They deserve it. So it's pretty sweet.
I'm going to mention that.
What antagonists? There's a lot of different antagonists I can do.
Texas on Jund versus Jacob Anderson on Blue Moon.
Where?
Jacob Anderson will be against the wall.
Mr. Anderson.
Okay, what was the first set you started playing in? Mine was also just before Innistrad. I started with the Commander decks.
Rise of Eldrazi.
I had a buddy kick me off playing the Commander decks. Okay.
No, it's not Tyler. It is Texas.
Techno Hippo, you think it'll flop? That, I mean, even if it does, I'm not going to be too heartbroken about it.
It'll depend.
If it's good, it'll do a lot of good for the game.
Yeah, if it's good, it'll do a lot of good for your game. If it's bad, like, I just don't want to see another Avatar. Last Airbender.
Okay,
I don't
but
want to see
that was done by Midnight Shyamalan.
Yeah. Yeah,
Midnight? I'm ashamed of that. I'll never do that again. I will literally never do that again.
Are you ashamed, Knight?
I am. I'm not even, like... I'm not touching that subject anymore.
Krenko and a Goblin deck. That's a good place to start. I did that too.
Oh, it
NPT
just
level
happened on there. Now the
podcast.
comments are gonna come in.
Oh man, that sucks.
Oh,
Alright,
man.
cool. So the finals is going to be Jund against Mono Blue Prism.
Let's jump down.
And we'll see you there.
Give me 15 seconds.
Here we go. Alright, here we go.
Excellent. They are about to start. I'm guessing that they're actually doing a countdown of 15 seconds.
Probably.
Sorry, he meant Last Airbender, not Avatar.
Yeah.
If you want to restart the timer and set the round to be 4.
I do. How'd you know?
I really just had this sneaking suspicion that you wanted to really set it to be round 4.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is our finals match. It's Mono Blue Prism against Austin, who is playing Jund. Now, Jacob does not have a Game 1 win in this particular situation.
No, he does not.
No. But we do have a Vessel of Nascency. Is that what it was?
Yes.
Vessel of Nascency from Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Off of a Land of Our Wastes, but Jacob following up with a Prism.
Prism.
And I don't think that Austin has a whole lot of ways to, like... I'm not
I
sure what
don't
Austin can
think
do
so.
against this.
Other than just apply early pressure.
So, my first deck was the Riku of Two Reflections Commander deck. It was awesome.
My first commander deck was a Send Triplets.
You are
Deck.
the worst.
It was horrible. It was the first deck I made, also the first deck I took apart.
That really just stands up to reason.
Yeah.
Actually, that Riku deck is still put together. And it's in the same sleeves.
Wow.
And they're still good. It's the longest lasting
Dang.
sleeves that I've ever had, and it's probably seen, like...
More play than anything
It's
else.
seen a lot of play. I don't know
I remember
how.
that deck. That deck is pretty good.
Game time, I accept it. I'm never going to do it again. I wholeheartedly apologize that. Okay. I'm so ashamed.
Here we got Jacob just gaining some life off of his prism, drawing some cards, filtering out, waiting until he's got a ton of lands. Austin cracking, excuse me, slip of the tongue, his vessel to go get a vampire. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. So, has a fiery temper. Has a lightning axe as well, but the creature removal not going to be super relevant here. He could actually... Oh, you know what? With double red, DJ Chuckles, thanks for hitting that follow button.
Welcome.
But Austin actually has enough to take down he has enough burn in hand to take down one that has been awakened.
Yeah. He's got a lot of burn. He's also, like, I also know that he plays Olivia main board, and so he potentially could just have enough bursts as well just to sneak in a kill.
Yeah. So just the value of the deck might end up getting it done.
Yeah. Jacob's going to have to, at a certain point in the game, pretty much always keep open Rise from the... Engulf the Shore. Sorry.
Yay.
Just to make sure that Austin, if he's got enough lands, doesn't slam Olivia, slam down something else, make it big. Austin's showing us his hand very graciously.
Looks like 2 lands and 2 burn spells.
Yeah, that's 8 damage. He can take out.
An awakened land.
Yeah.
Apparently he's showing off a foil mountain.
Got it.
I like it. It's a red card.
No, it's not.
It
All
plays
lands are
red cards.
colorless.
Not all lands.
All lands are colorless.
Dryad Arbor is green. I win.
There's also a creature. There's also a forest. Card's good.
Card is good. Card is good. Sorry to get too technical there. That was rude of me.
Jacob's stuck on 3 lands, which is not very good, especially when he doesn't have a Jason Sanctum in play, but Sanctum's not going to be able to get there very much.
And a Hydrolash.
Fog, draw card, gain a life.
Hydrolash is so ridiculous.
Yep.
The fact that that's seeing competitive play bothers me. Like, it bothers me.
It's good.
It's not. No. No, let's be truthful.
All
The
right.
card is bad. The synergy.
But when you can start tacking stuff
it
onto
is synergistic within the deck, which makes it better than it would be.
All right.
But the card is bad.
That's fair.
Oh man, that is. I mean, granted, how bad can it be? It's doing well. Like,
Yeah, it's definitely the most skill-intensive card in the deck, I believe. Knowing when to cast it, when to pitch it, when to side it out, when to know that it's important in a matchup. And bouncer small guys. He still takes a hit from Get Rock Monster, though.
the Get Rocked Frog, love it.
Yeah, putting him down to 14 because he gains a life off of the Prism. Texas is just going to recast those 2 guys, which is going to be the biggest thing for Jacob.
Just making sure they stay off the board. We have an heir to Falcon Wrath, and Texas.
Excuse me.
Texas, if he's aware of how to play around this deck, I think as we get higher into the mana cost, then we're going to see him start to really hold back those burn spells to maybe try and take down an awakened land.
Mm-hmm.
But he can't play too cautiously. Now, granted, that only takes 2 mana from him, but I think that that's an investment that gives you a huge amount of wiggle room in this situation. And it looks like
He's choosing what to sacrifice off of the Get Rock Monster. Drawing 2 lands is actually the best thing here.
it draws into another land. It'll have to enter tapped, however.
Mm-hmm. Which is fine.
So we're going to see a Vessel of Nascency by the look of it.
Mm-hmm. Probably cracking it for a land. Because Texas will be at 5 if he can find a land off of this vessel. He'll be able to play 2 more. Instead, just going. Just attacking with it.
Yep.
He's going to be looking to do a lot of damage.
Going to
But
go up to 16, and then we're going to go down to, wow, 7, 8.
The biggest
9,
thing about this
10,
Draina, however, though,
12?
is that...
Is that 12 damage? After the first strike?
1, 2, 3 plus... Yes, 12.
That's 12 damage, so Jacob's down to 4. And biggest thing, are you about to talk about how Whelming Wave gets worse? Or not Whelming Wave, Whelming Wave? The one that bounces for islands, the board wipe.
Engulf the Shores.
Engulf the Shores, I'm sorry.
Versus Draina.
Engulf the Shores when the creatures keep getting bigger?
Yeah, it's not that great. Sure, you're playing a land every turn, and you'll be able to bounce bigger and bigger things every turn, but if your opponent's things are also getting bigger and bigger and bigger at the same pace, it's going to be a lot harder. Like, this Gitrog monster is not going anywhere.
Yeah, the Gitrog has actually just now evaded.
It is a 7/7. So, that's going to be very hard to take care of. It's going to require...
Even a Hydrolash actually still puts Jacob down to 3, or down to 1.
No, because Draina is big enough to deal 1 damage through Hydrolash and make everything else bigger.
I'm thinking more if he goes for like Engulf.
Oh, Engulf plus Hydrolash.
Sorry, I was
Okay.
I was going for like Jacob's like most. I didn't elaborate in my mind.
Oh, no, because he'd gain 2. Gitrog would deal 5 and he would be gaining 2.
You're absolutely correct. The life gain here is throwing me off.
Turns out the card that the deck is named after is pretty good in that deck.
No.
Prism is pretty sweet.
Prism is pretty sweet, and I think we just did see Apart the Waterveil, not able to get casting.
No, it's a
yet.
pour over the pages, and
And
Jacob didn't
doesn't
find
have the
what he
win.
needed.
So a game 1 win for Texas on Jund. That's a pretty solid go there. I mean, just his curve was excellent.
Yeah.
He played nicely, patiently. He
did.
He didn't get super aggressive at any time. So I really liked how Austin went about that.
He has nature's claims.
And I think that might give him almost a better edge in this. Like, he only has 2 of them, but...
Yeah, but he gets to kill prisms.
And that's not nature's claim, that's,
No, nature's claim. Natural something.
Natural...
End?
Natural state.
Natural state.
Natural state.
Actually, one of the cards that everyone thought was going to be a common that hit other formats, and just hasn't.
No, and the problem is that in every deck that's running a card similar to that, what you have
Would
is...
just rather have natural.
In fact, you'd just rather have Nature's Claim, because you don't care about their life gain.
Mm-hmm.
And then a lot of other decks have access to things like Wear and Tear. And then you look at, like, Affinity. Affinity has access to Wear and Tear if they want to, which gives them the ability... Like, it's slightly better in the Mirror Match, because they can take down a gear per Aether Grid as well as one of their things. So, and the other reason, which is kind of a small reason, but a relevant one, which is in some of these decks, the 2 things that it can't hit, which are occasionally relevant, is Leyline of Sanctity and Wormcoil Engine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Glimpsing gun.
Glimpsing Unthinkably.
Well done.
The other fun thing is that he's from Texas.
Yeah.
But
Actually, from it.
but yeah, we do call him Texas, and his name is Austin, which is pretty convenient.
Yep.
And actually, Jund Mana is at least on par for Standard right now, but
Jund is great.
I think every mana base looks awful when you're like, look at where we're coming from, is probably one of the best mana bases that Standard has had.
I would say ever.
See, I'd argue against that only because when they had the filter lands, when there was
Shadowmoor.
the mana there was also phenomenal.
I don't know.
When you had
Like-
shards, like
Yeah, you were able to cast
Shards
Cryptic
and
Command
Shadowmoor?
and 2 other colors.
like
But, it was actively better to be playing 4 colors than 3 colors. Your
Yeah.
mana was better to play 4 colors than it was 3 colors.
yes, absolutely.
That's so weird.
So it's a very unusual thing, but I would definitely call it, as far as since in the most recent 3 ages of design, I would call it probably in the top 3 mana bases ever, which was really good. And Reflecting Pool. Oh man.
Oh, because Reflecting Pool can go off the other things. That's so
Yep.
weird. Prism
So-
getting taken out by Natural State
Beautiful.
right away.
Beautiful hit by... now, actually, Austin may have kept a pretty loose hand otherwise, though.
It looks like a bunch of burn and a bunch of lands. But if Jacob's not gaining life and getting out of range, as soon as Austin draws a creature...
The only problem is that if he's not casting a creature, he's in trouble. So if there's a creature there that we don't see...
I don't think so.
Nope. Okay.
So Jacob just cycling through his deck, doing what he's wanting to do and planning to do.
Tyler
with Ghosts.
Thank you so much, thank you so much for hitting that follow button. Thank you so much, better.
So much. Draina.
That's a pretty good one.
If this...
Jacob doesn't have a whole lot of ways to answer it.
Nah. But if Jacob misses a land drop, which he does, and he's not able to stop Draina from getting bigger right now, then this Draina may just outpace him.
Yeah. So...
More mono blue. This is the finals. Mono blue made it to the finals up against this gen deck. So Jacob taking 2, going down to 18. Draina getting bigger, which is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Jacob's going to need to find another land and then engulf the shores to take care of this Draina ASAP. Otherwise, it's going to just get too big.
If he misses another... Now, granted, he's got a lot of ability for digging, so he did find his island.
Mm.
But if he doesn't have the engulf...
He's going to have to engulf this turn.
Yeah.
Because engulf bounces off of toughness, so he can't Hydro Lash and then engulf. Instead, he plays Adjacent Sanctum.
And we're going. And we are going.
I missed the last life gain.
So 20 to 20, but we're about to see a swing for 3, and... Actually, is that an Heir of Falconwrath?
I did not see.
I think...
Malachi Kane.
Or Malachi Kane?
Malachi Kane.
Thank you
Welcome.
so much.
Thank you.
It might very well be Drana. Jim
Jim.
H-Box? Jim HBX? Thank you so much for hitting that follow button. We might be getting ourselves a nice little chain lightning. If you are brand new, welcome. It's great having you.
Absolutely.
His name is Logan.
Yes. His is TJ.
Hello. Returned from Geek Fortress in Snohomish, Washington.
Sorry, I'm watching. This is fun.
So, Jacob at 18.
I'm doing a pour over the pages, untapping lands. I still don't know if he's going to be able to deal with this Draina. It might just outpace him.
Yes, especially being at 18. No, you got it. Cool. Thanks. Oh, and it's also Dave and Cole. As Sadistic's daughter named us.
Yes.
The Dave and Cole Show. So pour over the pages, putting them up to 18. That one doesn't get reset. Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
I hit the wrong button. That's
And we're
what my own
still...
was.
Austin, looks like he just hasn't hit the engulfing shore right now. That's another Draina. He could play down a Draina right now.
It's legendary.
Dang it. You're right. I hate that legendary mechanic.
It's good. It's a drawback.
No, actually, I love it. I like that it's able to make some cards better. So I could have sworn they did... Oh, no, that's not... That's an invasive surgery in his hand.
Yeah. That's super good.
That's...
Counter sorcery.
No, that's beyond super good. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insanely good right
I'm
now.
confused. How?
Oh, he doesn't have Delirium right now. If he can get to Delirium...
But even if he does...
He rips out every part the Water Veil in the deck.
In Austin's hand?
Austin has a...
Oh, I was... Okay, never mind.
If Austin can get to Delirium...
Yeah, and then take apart the Water Veil.
Huge.
Jacob would probably run out of ways to win.
No, like, well, he wouldn't have, like...
He would have one Rise from the Tides.
Oh, okay, you're absolutely right there. But...
I still don't see how Jacob beats this Draina, though. Like, it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
I mean, he has enough islands right now to go for
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. Barely.
So... And it looks like...
Pour over the pages.
I mean, he can still cast it off of this. But Austin... Oh, man, I would love it. Like, Austin, if he can get to the Delirium, he has got just a win there. So something like a Vessel of Volatility will be... If he can land into one of those, that'll be really big.
Pick the brain, that's what I was...
If not, it'll buy him some time, though. So, like, if nothing else, that Invasive Surgery buys him time. He's going to know...
Pick the brain. Invasive Surgery is the 1 blue counter a sorcery.
My apologies.
This is why I was super confused. It's like, how does that beat a Draina? No, Pick the Brain is the card you're thinking of, which you're correctly analyzing.
I'm sorry, that's my bad.
No worries. But yeah, Pick the Brain will be insane.
Fire Pyro, you were the best.
That'd be sweet in the mirror. That's probably why it's in the mirror, though.
And so Jacob at 17 gets the cast
Evil
there
Shores.
to take down the drama.
Dang.
And just gonna recast it.
Just play it again.
So he does have a fiery impulse that he could fire off. But, yeah, that pick the brain not looking nearly as good. So
Temper.
Did I say fiery impulse?
Mm-hmm.
Dang it.
Fiery Temper. Welcome to round 4 of Standard. Been here for a little bit. Thing in the Ice coming down for Jacob. That's sweet. Pour over the pages. This Thing in the Ice will probably be able to flip very quickly, I imagine.
Jacob's looking really good.
If
for
not
game 2.
this turn. Because if he's got 2 mana cantrips, they're all 1 mana. And I am missing life gain triggers.
Yes, you are.
Like crazy.
So, Jacob is looking really good for game 2.
Another Prism, which does not trigger the Thing in the Ice, but is going to be gaining a lot of life. Like, Jacob's been in a bad spot, but he was able to deal with Draina and has just gained all his life back. Meanwhile, Austin's just drawn more lands.
The heir to Falconwrath.
It's good, but it just gets bounced right away, and then having to discard a card to it just doesn't feel good when it just gets bounced.
Especially when it doesn't actually get the +1/+1 counter.
Yeah. Hydrolash, gaining the life, gaining 2 life, scry 1, take a counter off Thing in the Ice, draw a card.
So Josh Emotion, Mono Blue Prism is basically a mono blue deck based around winning with Part the Water Veil on a single creature over multiple turns, but uses things like the Prism there as well as a bunch of cantrips and things like that to just slow down the game until they can start resolving that.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a standard Scape Shift is kind of what I'm relating it to in my mind.
Okay. Stall, and then
And
hey, look,
then
I win.
combo win.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here we're seeing him just cast a normal Part the Water Veil. And Tex is just like, alright, you got it. I can't fight through this.
Yep. So, we're going to be heading into a Game 3 with Texas on the play. Now, what we just saw there was something in which we probably should have seen Austin go for the mulligan.
Mm-hmm.
And what you see is oftentimes a really good sideboard card, if you don't have, like... It's something that I've talked about on some of the other streams, which is that you don't want a sideboard card. You want to play a good sideboard card.
Mm-hmm.
In that it's not that the sideboard card itself is good, it's that you play it in a way that it's actually still applying pressure to your opponent. Like, the easiest way that I can relate this to it is Blood Moon is not that good against Tron. Blood Moon on its own is not very good against Tron in the context of Modern.
Yeah.
However, a good Blood Moon is
Will
pretty
break
good
them.
against... I would not even go so far as to say break, but it is significantly better.
Okay.
So, if you're able to continue applying pressure while you're playing the Blood Moon, a Blood Moon alone, you cannot think, this is going to be Tron. Because they can still cast everything with their colorless costs, and especially with something like the Oblivion Stone.
Okay.
But a good Blood Moon, in which you are able to continue applying pressure and take advantage of the faltered step that they have to take from that situation, that's when those sideboard cards can be impactful. And I think the situation we see there is that the natural state, it's good against Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
But Austin had no way to apply pressure to take advantage of the trip up that Jacob experienced.
Mm.
You know, he faltered for a moment.
CL Green, thank you very much for joining us. Welcome to the Fortnite.
Mm-hmm. You are fantastic, and thank you so much.
Sorry, derailed your train of thought.
No, that I had come to the end of my train of thought.
Okay.
Yeah, that's... But CL Green, you're the best.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for joining. And also, anybody who's brand new, to the 125 of you who are out there, I'm really curious about this. 1, how did you find us? 2, let us know that you're brand new in the chat. We'd love to welcome you by name. We like
Absolutely.
to do that. We like to be interactive with the people in the chat when we can.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that if you found us from the Reddit post... Seriously, I know
It makes it so uncomfortable.
if you want to toss a good word in there, we appreciate it.
It does mean a lot.
I'm so like,
Asking for likes is never fun.
I don't know. It just makes me uncomfortable to like request that of people. But if it's
That's fair.
convenient for you and you're there and you want to do us a favor, then
It'd be great.
we do appreciate it. Okay.
Fire Pyro, yes. That's a great point as well.
What happened at the Reddit post? There just happens to be one in r/spikes that was put in there by a fantastic person. Not us,
Wasn't us.
interestingly. But
don't
by
have
someone by the name of Love Bullets. And they put in a Reddit post on r/spikes about the stream. And yeah, hopefully some people found us through there.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So game 3, Jund is going to be on the play, which is going to be a big thing for him. We saw last game, Jacob was able to keep up with Adrena and finally be able to bounce it. But if Austin is able to land Adrena early on, he's just going to be able to keep it out of range pretty easily.
So...
His hand looks like Olivia, Gitrog Muster, and 5 lands, which I don't imagine him keeping.
I don't think he will. And
He kept it.
apparently he is believing.
Unless there's a card we don't see.
I don't believe there is. And a pretty interesting keep here. Oh, no, okay, he's just revealing. I thought it was casting
Yeah,
something.
I thought it was too. It kind of looked like a Traverse the Open World.
And we're about to see Adrena. Ooh, and one turn too late there.
Dang.
And realizes that he didn't have the
played-
black mana there.
MTG Robin Hood, welcome to the Fortnights. Thank you for hitting that follow button. Your name is fantastic.
Your name is so fantastic. Literally 2 nights ago, I was talking about how cool Robin Hood was.
Robin
Yeah.
Hood is pretty cool. Person or the fox?
The person. We were talking about the Kevin Costner version.
Okay. Second Prism. Here we're going to see how the Prism is able to just fight off.
Oh, but now
attackers.
he's able to go for the... No, it's discard to make another creature have haste.
Mhm.
Dang it.
She doesn't give herself haste.
No, but we
Which
do
is
swing.
unfortunate.
We could see a swing for 2 here, and we do have a Nature's Claim. So
That'll help out a lot, actually.
it's just the kind of thing to where it doesn't cost Austin very much as far as the turn goes.
Yeah.
But does anybody who is absolutely incredible want to toss a link to that Reddit post in there?
It'd be amazing.
You would be... I will allow a link.
So here, the Sylvan Advocate is going to be pretty nice because when it becomes a 4/5, it's that much more of a problem for Jacob to take out.
This actually might be
And
good for Texas.
This is going to be pretty good because it's going to shuffle back in a sideboard card.
It's your boy Paul. Thank you so much. I think the timing there may have been perfect for when I actually said that. So, if anybody wants to toss in a good word, I appreciate it. If you don't, I'm not going
That's
to be
fine.
hurt.
But this also means, like, Days of Doing means Austin gets to untap with an Olivia in play.
And
If he's got a Drena...
and a full
if he
hand of
dr-
cards.
Yeah, if he draws a Drena, Recreate, Destroy, welcome to the Fortnite. Thank you for hitting that follow button. It means a ton to us.
We saw a tapped sphere earlier. Are you just the untapped version? Because, like, did someone crack the chromatic sphere, and then, like, are you post Second Sunrise? Because that would be sweet.
That would be so cool.
We're getting a full eggs deck in the chat. Man, I make such stupid jokes.
It's alright, we love you for it.
That's such a stupid joke.
We see a hasty Gitrog. Yeah! Give it haste. Pitch that land.
Get the smack down.
Pitch the land, draw a card.
Get the smack down.
Watch this. Texas is going to give it +1/+1 in haste. And
Really
draw a
fun.
card from it. Boom. Draw that card. Give that Gitrog haste. Make it bigger. That is a vampire frog horror.
This might be one of my first standard arm flings.
He can also play an additional land if he's got it, which would have made Sylvan Advocate bigger.
Oh, man.
But that is 3, 4, 5. That is a
Flare
lot.
arms. Whoops. I messed up there. Can someone put in the flail arms thing there? Oh, man. Thank you, Tevin, for that. I messed up. I mistyped. It's Suki93.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for the follow.
I think Jacob just
I
dumped
think-
his hand going, yeah, I'm dead.
Wow. That looks like a lot of islands.
And kill your thing in the ice. And play a hasty Kalidas.
Magnificent. The vampire frog horror. That's...
Goosh.
No, we do.
I don't think he technically can cast Kalidas, but Jacob's already conceded, I think. Yeah. That was fantastic.
I don't want to get too weird, but how'd you cast Kalidas?
Okay, my bad.
Dude, Logan's here. What the
Hey!
I'm going to go try and find us another match if you want to get it set up to head back up.
Absolutely.
But Jund taking the finals after a round 1 bye, interestingly enough.
Yeah.
and then just sweeps after that.
Very fun to watch.
He goes, "Oh yeah." Well, I'll just swing at it with the rest of them.
Whatever. All right, I'll see you up here in a second.
Excellent. Let's see what we can find.
And welcome back. We are nearing the end of round 4 of this standard. I almost said modern. Of standard here on Monday night. We stream 4 times if you're new here. We stream 4 times a week. We do standard on Mondays starting at 6:30. We do modern on Wednesdays starting at 7:30. 7:30? 7. I don't know. Teacher will tell me when he gets back. We do Legacy on Fridays starting at 7:30. Demon Drinking Tea. That is a fantastic name. Thank you very much for hitting that follow button. Definitely means a lot to us here. And then we also do Modern on Saturday nights starting at 6. This is all Pacific Standard Time. I am not TJ. My name is Logan. I am learning new things. TJ is back, though. Hi.
Hi, I'm actually just stopping by to say, hey, don't forget about next Saturday, the Super Throwdown Slam Fest of Legacy. Also, don't worry, this will be getting improved soon. We recently put way too much pressure on our camera, and so we're picking up an HD camera. It's going to be fun.
Yep.
Anyway, I'm working on finding us a Game 3. People are in-game, so I'm going to keep bothering people.
Okay, cool. Get Finger 3D.
Don't worry, here's
Welcome.
my stamp of approval. Plus, weirdly similar faces, right?
little bit.
I know.
Yeah, my beard's kind of hiding it.
Yeah, you're like, I think earlier I said, was
You
it
know
like,
something
you're like
weird?
me in 2 weeks
Okay,
or something
check
like that?
this out. Check this out.
Okay.
We have different bald spots on our beard.
Oh.
Mine's there.
Uh-huh.
Yours is here.
Yeah, that is a little bit
We
interesting.
have like opposite.
Huh.
Something I noticed.
Maybe you're the evil twin that someone mentioned in another
Or
stream.
you're the evil twin.
It's likely.
I'm older. So he's the evil twin. Either way, I like saying TJ's evil. And I'm not. But yeah, this Saturday, Soviet Goat, thank you very much for hitting that follow button. It means a ton to us. For anyone else, if this is your first time here, welcome, absolutely. I will try to get the deck list for that Jund list from Texas, or from Austin if I can. But if this is your first time here, please, absolutely feel free to ask any and all questions you may have. Any questions, queries, anything else you want to say. Part of this is interacting with you, and that's what makes it so much fun. Twins be the same age? No. If you ask any twin, one of them is older, the other is not. So, I'm going to stand by that. Evil Twin's a cool card, yes. So, if you're new here, please feel free. If you got here, one thing that's kind of cool is saying how you got here. If you found us through Reddit, if you were just browsing Twitch, if someone told you about us, it's pretty cool seeing how different people got here. And then saying where you are is also cool. We are located in Snohomish, Washington. It's in the Pacific Northwest. We're fairly close to Seattle, which is a lot of fun. How strong do you believe mono-white humans to be in standard? I think mono white has gone down to like tier 1.5. It's definitely a deck that'll keep other people honest, but there's definitely better integrations with banned humans and blue-white humans as well. However, it is the aggro deck of the format, and so aggro decks are just made to keep everyone else honest.
Inflixon, welcome to your first Geek Fortress stream.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining the Fortnights. Thanks for Malachi King to be under Malachi
Kane.
Thank you so much. So we do have 2. One of them, this is actually their very first standard tournament.
Oh, cool.
Yes, and they
So who
just
do we
took
got?
game 1. So facing the wall, it will be Sean from earlier. That's on the wall.
Oh, you said facing the wall.
Yeah, facing the wall.
Halv here.
Halv
Thank
here.
you very much for hitting the follow button. Welcome. It's great to have you here.
Hey, thank you so much for finding us from the Reddit thread. Hopefully you are enjoying it. You just said that you are, but thank you so much. I genuinely appreciate it. Don't worry, later I'll get sappy. It's the SEAN as before. No, it's the yeah.
What's his last name?
S. That one. And
Alright.
and then he's going up against Scott Wilder. And then
What's Sean playing?
Sean is playing the same one that he was earlier,
I do not remember.
which was
was it the green-black?
Green-black control.
Okay.
And he's going up against what appears to be kind of a green-white let's call it mid-range. But again, this is kind of where it's his first standard tournament, and so
Okay.
it doesn't really fit into a clear archetype to my knowledge.
Okay.
But
We'll say mid-range.
nonetheless, this one we get to see someone who is getting into the game and hopefully having some fun. So we're gonna be good. We're gonna be constructive. I'm sure they'll play fine, but just as a quick reminder.
This is technically competitive REL, however, we're a small group, and so... Is it competitive?
No, we're casual, Ariel.
We're casual. Oh, my apologies.
Weekly events are casual, Ariel.
We're casual.
Yeah, so this
Hang
is a
on.
casual REL event, so there should be so hopefully we can be constructive and do some cool stuff like that and watch that. Don't worry, round 4 is not quite done
Not yet.
yet. Tapped Sphere, thank you so much. To anybody who hasn't yet, be sure to hit that follow button and join us in the future. I spend about 20 hours a week in here, which means there's always more to see.
Absolutely.
We could put green white homebrew as well, and then change it as we go.
I'm going to start with mid-range.
It's not seasons past to my knowledge, but
No, it's just straight up green-black.
Javier, thank you so much for finding us from the Reddit thread. I will say again, God, I hate.
If you got here from the Reddit thread, we would greatly appreciate it if you leave us some good words there. It really means a lot. It drives TJ nuts to say things like that. I'll say it, though.
Excellent. So it looks like they're just getting ready, so we can head on down for game 2. Scott took game 1.
All right, see you there.
All right.
All right.
You are getting this down.
Getting better. Figuring it out. It's not hard, just knowing how to do it all. Scott did take game 1. Shameless.
The
Yeah,
cheapest deck
be
that's top
shameless.
tierish
Mono
standard
blue.
deck.
Mono blue prism.
Mono Blue Prism is really good. Actually, the white red humans didn't look super expensive. It had some expensive pieces. No,
I
it had
haven't-
Declaration and all that stuff.
It hasn't put up any
Red
results
Humans?
yet. At least that I've seen.
It just won the Star City deal.
Did it?
Tom Ross just won with it.
I need to start looking at things again. I apologize. So,
Be shameless. Hey, everybody, go to that Reddit thread and toss in some good words. We certainly appreciate it. It means a lot. And then I can go in there and interact with you guys because I'll be in there after this stream tossing in some thank yous, responding to any kind of questions that appear in there, and having all kinds of fun. There's my shameless. Let's go.
and we're worth it.
We, yeah, we are. So Sean, on his turn 2, Westvale Abbey in a forest, can be dropping down a 2-drop. Looks to be cracking a Vessel of Nascency.
Yeah.
Scott with a turn 1 Fortified Village.
Inverter. No, Fortified Village is the actual rare one. I don't know what the
Canopy
one is
Vista?
called. No, isn't Canopy Vista a modern card?
No.
Yeah. That is definitely not what's on the table.
I mean, but that's a standard card. That's the Tango Land.
You're right, that's the Tango Land. Alright, whatever. Either way, it is a green-white duel.
It's a green-white duel.
Oh, his deck looks so cool. He has Gideon, Planar Cleansing, Nissa.
There's an Unruly Mob in there too.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I know. I mean, it doesn't
wipe
work-
your board and make him indestructible. Oh, that's so cool. Okay.
Yeah. I'm
pretty
prepared
cool.
for this deck to actually put up some cool stuff.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, first of all, huge props to Scott showing up to his first standard event ever. Huge props. Second of all, do you want to know how much hesitation he said when I said, "Are you open to being on stream?" He said, "Yes, I am." Like for someone who is brand new to the game, he was so open to huge props to Scott just
Sweet.
for being willing to step out like that. That's
pretty big.
That's impressive to me.
That's a Bygone or Byway Courier. It is a 3-mana 3/2, and when it dies, you investigate.
Okay.
Here's the card for you. That's why I couldn't take it.
So we've got a clue token for Sean there. Looks like he has a Gitrog monster in hand.
Byway
And
Courier,
Tireless
Sean.
Tracker.
Mind Rack Demon.
That is the Mind Rack Demon. So he is going to lose a life just to cast it.
Yep.
And then he is going to mill 4 cards. Does he have Delirium? I think he's close.
I see
Vessel of
instant
Nascency.
enchantment, sorcery land. Yep.
Yep.
He does have
So
it.
he's not going to be taking 4, and he's got a 4/5 flyer. Now, granted, Scott does have the board wipe in hand.
Yeah, he does.
So he's 1 turn away from just wiping the board pretty solid. And a Nissa.
He's got a Nissa, a
no double
Gideon,
green.
Planar Cleansing. He doesn't have double green, but I don't know if you want to play a Planeswalker right now
So,
anyways, just because it would almost guaranteed die
You
to Mind Rack.
can plus the Gideon, so it'll survive the Mind Rack Demon, and throw your creature in front of the Tireless Tracker,
That's true.
and then go for the Planar Outburst next turn.
Hopefully he does that instead of just zeroing.
Yeah. So he could go for that, and because it's not going to be able to do much this turn, but it means that next turn he can go for the board wipe and then start swinging with this Gideon or developing a board with 2/2s.
Yeah.
Now that's entirely dependent on Sean not just removing the Byway Courier and
Looks like it did.
And
Sweet.
so if he has like a Grasp of Darkness, anything like that he actually wants to use on it, but even still, then at least Scott has got this board wipe next turn, which will be fairly nice.
Yeah.
Looks
It would
like
be a
that
good
is
way to
best.
clean up and then follow it up with a Nissa or something like that. He does have the ultimate prize, so he's going to investigate there, and hopefully Sean will kill.
It's the price you pay. And now Gideon won't ultimate. He didn't have one, really, but either way,
It's price to pay for
I'm funny.
for making progress.
I'm funny. Now, Price of Progress is in a world of its own, Logan, and I'm digging what you're saying. So we get a +1/+1 counter there, and this is a swing. Looks like just
8.
Are we taking down? Because if he's going straight to the face, that's great. And he is.
Faces the place.
So the Gideon survives, and Scott, if he does have the other land, which he does, he's going to get to wipe this board. Oh, that's
Looks at it, thinking
good.
about it. Yeah, I like winning. I'm gonna kill everything.
That's an interesting call by Sean, and I can understand that. Like, putting him down to 12, representing a 3-turn clock is pretty tantalizing when you think that you're going over the 2/2s.
Yeah,
So I can understand the play there, but it looks like this might end up punishing him just a little bit.
probably.
Maybe not in the long run, because Sean does have access to things like I can't think of the name of it right now.
Get Red Monster?
Nope, the
No.
3-mana kill spell. Just completely
Ruinous Path.
Thank you, Ruinous Path, which can answer the card pretty nicely.
Mm-hmm.
But man,
I don't know if Sean has a 5th lane though. Doesn't look like he does because he went first and he skipped his lane drop last turn.
You are
so
right.
not playing anything, just passing the turn. Scott
and
being
we've
able
got
to
the
play a
double
lane.
green. He has the Nissa available now, as well as is that the Unruly Mob?
No, that is Bound by Moon Silver.
What a sweet deck! I like this.
Bound by Moon Silver. Is
So we're gonna make a
actually-
plant token, and he is actually going for the plus. So he's getting really aggressive with this Gideon, and
Yeah.
when you have things like I'm not entirely sure about this when Grasp of Darkness exists, because Gideon's
He's a 5/5.
yeah, so he'd survive that. So a swinging for 5.
Down
He's
to
closing this
9.
game out well.
Yeah.
This is great.
Let's see if he pluses Gideon, the minuses Nissa next turn is that game 5, 6, 7. So it's not game. It's not dead on board, but it is not looking good for
It's
Sean.
not looking good. Oh, maybe. God, I hope this isn't like.
Taking this single pane, playing a Mind Rack Demon,
But
which will
bound
help
by
stop.
Nope, because he's gonna get bound by Moon Silver,
It's just gonna
which
get
is
bound.
kind of fitting. But oh my goodness! So the mill 4 there, and he has a Sylvan
Sylvan
Advocate and
Advocate.
7 lands.
It doesn't make the plant token bigger.
It's at 7 though, isn't it? That your creatures get +2/+2.
It doesn't give you creatures; it gives your land creatures. So
The-
any
the
act,
Sylvan
any
Advocate?
animal. Yeah.
Oh, that can't be true. I thought it was all creatures.
Nope. Just your lands. Just your main lands.
Really?
Yep.
You're right. You're right.
He buffs himself. But I mean, even still, just getting hits him for 5.
Interestingly
Puts him down to
enough,
3.
Somehow I've never just like paid attention to that like one word on the card. I couldn't tell you why.
The biggest complaint with it is that it doesn't buff your plant tokens, because aren't plants part of the land?
That feels like a pretty loose complaint, but I can understand it. So we
Sean
get,
playing Languish, wiping out all the creatures on the table, actually doesn't kill the Sylvan Advocate, just the tokens.
and doesn't hit the Gideon, and
doesn't kill
Sean's at
Sylvan
2.
Advocate. If you want to tell him.
Sylvan Advocate is 4/5.
There we go.
Coleman was there actually letting him know.
Okay, cool. But even still, like, even if it did, just Gideon pluses and kills him.
It would not be modern playable if it was all creatures. I mean, it might be. But
6 lands is a lot in Modern.
That's a lot. Maybe it would be. Maybe. I'd have to actually like play with it.
Casting spells, because casting spells are fun.
But right now, this is just a win.
Plus Gideon.
Like Sean's at 2, and you're attacking with a 5/5, and
Boom.
and Sean's tapped out,
-2. He dead.
and that's a game 2. Great show by Scott. That's a sweet deck.
That is a cool deck. I like it.
Is midrange? I feel like midrange was an accurate term for it.
Yeah. Creatures, removal, board sweepers,
that was sweet.
planeswalkers.
That was really cool.
I like that.
There might be a Thopter's deck. I might be able to get a game 3.
All right. I'm going to come back up here. So I will see you in a moment. Welcome back up to the booth, and I have not changed these things yet, but we're going fast and furious. Did you find one?
I did not. We have
Oh,
no
dang.
more. That was our final match for the night.
Last one.
That was it. A great way to go out, seeing a new player put up a pretty good performance after very enthusiastically being open to doing it.
Very
Hello!
much.
My name's TJ,
I am Logan.
and those will be represented above us pretty shortly. Returned from Geek Fortress in Snohomish, Washington, having a blast. Logan, you have been knocking it out of the park tonight.
Thank you very much.
Being in the pilot seat. I've been having a lot of fun from kind of this perspective.
It's pretty fun being over here.
It is a lot of fun. But we'll be hanging out a little bit. To anybody who's just joining us, and this is your first time joining our stream, stick around for a little bit, because if you have any questions, any comments, any feedback, anything like that, we like to stick around. We also have a fun game called 6 Words, which we occasionally play.
This game's fun.
So if you do have any questions, feel free to put just 6 words at the beginning or end of it, and we will answer it in exactly no more, no less 6 words. Sometimes it leads to some interesting answers. We generally try to do it with as little thought as humanly possible.
Yep.
Which, as it turns out, is not a lot of thought. Also, thank you to the people who are saying things on the Reddit thread. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for taking the time for us, and I'll be trying to respond to each of you when I have the chance as soon as we're done with this stream.
Absolutely. So we're going to try and get the gen list from Texas, and if we do, we will be posting that on Twitter, probably.
Let's see. Having a side text file with common text updates, it's good. I'm not quite sure what you mean about that.
We're saying we're doing a good job with something, or
I think possibly like trying to have a text file that just so that we can copy and paste it in there, possibly.
okay.
I am not quite sure what their Split Up Have a Good Night, but Tron, why does that
Thank you
have to
very
be
much,
Kappa?
Tron Burrito.
You still don't know what EMA art you're getting? Oh, I still haven't seen what they are, and I tried looking.
Oh, that's right.
Is there a red card among them? Someone just quickly let me know what the arts on the packs for EMA are going to be, and I will name that one. Name 7 non-basic lands. Valakut, Stomping. Oh, they're good. 7 non-basic lands. I can do this. Hold on. There's got to be one that, Canopies, Stomping, Crypt,
This is so cheating, but it's
Heath.
fair.
Wooded,
Valka.
Valakut.
Done.
The canopies. There's 2 canopies. Canopy Vista and Horizon Canopy.
Did you name 7 non-basics?
I did
with
name
6 words.
I did name 7 non-basics with 6 words.
Very nice.
Oh, look at me go. I love it.
Pendlehaven's another one. Yeah, that one's good.
It helps to have. So we do have chat. So I think what you're talking about is
He's better at this than I am.
Shocklands,
that.
Pendlehaven, and Godless Shrine. Well, sure.
There's 2 woodeds.
Oh, nice.
Alright.
So, as far as the text files, actually it does autofill a decent amount. We did set it up to autofill based on previous entries. So that one it's fine. It's more just getting in the habit. However, we are looking into, like, let's talk about some ideas that we have for this stream.
Okay.
So, one of them is that we are looking at building to where we actually, instead of having a keyboard and mouse, we're looking into getting one of those like giant panel things that has like a bunch of different layouts in it.
Yeah.
To where we can set it to where we have just buttons that manipulate only the life totals, and then we have like buttons that are selected to just go up to that one, and then we select, and like we're looking into getting one of those like complicated layout things that
It'd be pretty cool.
it's super cool, and it's also very complicated to me. But David, like when I mentioned that to David, he's like,
Yeah, I know. I got it. I know what you're talking about. All right.
So
David's
that
the
is
man.
something that I'm looking at doing. We are going to be upgrading our webcam very, very shortly. As you may noticed, we
Little
recently...
fuzz.
Yeah, so we have an HD camera out there, but we don't have an HD camera in here. And we're starting to get to a point where we're putting enough pressure onto the camera as far as just all the things that it's trying to register and keep track of. As far as like having to identify the green screen and identify the people and da-da-da. So we're actually looking into upgrading the camera itself to improve that one. That one's going to be coming down shortly. We are looking into getting a Twitch partnership, which we're doing some other research into that one as far as making sure that we go about it right so that we can use it well. So keep your eyes open for that one. Anybody who subscribes will have my eternal thanks. Favorite deck and standard? Mono red goggles. I like red.
Green black sacrifice explodes the most.
Explodes the most. I thought that was goggles.
Technically.
I didn't just hit my mouth with my phone.
Or my shoulder. Charbelcher Death Ray.
Bloodbraid Elf, Charbelcher, Deathrat Shaman. Ooh, there's 2 red cards.
Ooh.
The new Bloodbraid is really pretty. Charbelcher.
It's really cool.
Charbelcher. It's got a bunch of expensive cards on the art itself. Biggest magic related pet peeve. Yeah, but about the door. What about the door? I'm a little bit curious about that one. Hold it.
Swaverly, this shop started as a comic and card shop, and then it turned into cards and board games.
I can answer how this started. Oh, biggest magic related pet peeve. Over enthusiastic talking about next bands. I think that speculating on bands just doesn't... I think that it's hurtful to the game.
I remember, yeah, I can say that with you.
Yep.
Taking the game way too seriously.
That's also fair. So, what we are is we're at a shop called Geek Fortress. It's in Snohomish, Washington, in the Pacific Northwest, a little bit north of Seattle. How this started was about 9 months ago. So what this started out with was actually, realistically, the journey for this... Oh, God. So how... This started actually probably about 2 years ago. When we first started to stream.
Really?
And this was Sean's idea. This was something that was like inspired by Sean, and it was a great idea. And we set up a table, but we didn't have the same capability at the time, and just the people that we had, the willingness, and things like that. What we had, and a different building, but we set it up, but we had no overlay. We had no one doing the commentary. We just set it up and streamed the image
You could
with like
watch.
a live total thing, and you could watch. And it wasn't that successful, and because there wasn't the people talking, there wasn't like. I understand it, but that's kind of where this started. And then we later were kind of... We always wanted to get back to that, and it was something that was always kind of at the back of minds, but never prevalent. Because So 9 months ago, maybe 10 months ago, immediately, and I don't even remember what it was, we were like, let's do it. Let's stream. And we just got like weirdly hyped about it. I was just like, you mean I can stream and talk about it? And I can host it and just do commentary? Yes, sign me up. And so I did. And so we had a guy named AJ who helped set us up with our initial layout and lent us a lot of the equipment. We had the players who, when we asked them, did a ton of stuff as far as just letting us like go about, can we film you? And they were like, yeah. And you had... So, and I guess I was willing to sit back here and no longer play and just do things like this. And it just... Everything lined up. Everything lined up perfectly. And we just... It worked out. We started doing it. And the initial concept, the entire idea behind it was like, let's do streaming so that the 5 to 10 people who play Modern here and play events here can watch it and keep up to date on the metagame when they aren't able to make it in that night.
Yeah.
That was the extent. We once had aspirations of having like 20 people watching at a time. That was like... That was our limit. We were like, maybe we'll get to 20. Like, that would be... How cool would that be? And then it just...
It grew, it got bigger.
You know, you thought I had the temperament for this kind of gig? Thank you. I'm not quite sure. I feel like I know you, and I may not realize that. But thank you. I appreciate that. But it just ended up being just the factor, the pieces just came together. And it was certainly not... it was certainly not a single act by any one person. It was just that everything...
Yeah,
and
enough people came together to make it work.
Yeah. So I was really impressed by that one, and that's kind of how this started. And then it picked up, and we've just been trying to catch up ever since.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, so you guys are doing pretty good. And we're like, oh my god, maybe we shouldn't be streaming in a closet. Let's get a green screen. And, like, let's update the layout. And let's keep pushing the layout. And let's, like, it was
Get
awesome.
bigger and better and bigger and better and bigger and better. Yeah.
I know we missed a bunch of questions in there.
There was, what modern common would break standard if it was reprinted?
What modern common would Lightning Bolt?
Someone said it. Lightning Bolt.
Try to wrap it up. I will say I'm totally down to do a giveaway for signed Lightning Bolts one day.
That'd be
But
sweet.
thank you. I try to have a really good knowledge base, and hopefully I satisfy that. I know that I'm not right about everything all the time.
Yeah.
But,
Both of my friends about it. Thank you, Patheus. It has shown.
honestly, your grandma's our MVP. So, it is time for us to call it a night. I'm sorry that we missed some of those questions there. I kind of got carried away with that question.
Feel free to carry the conversation over on Reddit.
On
Or-
that Reddit post, if someone wants to link it, yeah, I'll shamelessly do this now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna call it a night, and we're gonna host you over to, you know what? Let's try and pretend like let's do the SG doc. Let's do the SG doc. We've done some sharing with him before. 'Cause
Doc.
the legacy one is gonna be ending pretty shortly.
Yeah, over Card Kingdom.
So we're gonna end up hosting over there. But to everybody who has been watching, it has been amazing.
Thank you very much.
My name is TJ.
I'm Logan.
And we are streaming from Geek Fortress. Whether it is good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, we hope that it's a great one, and we'll see you next time.
Yep.
Have a good night, everybody. We'll be doing the transition actually first. Yeah. Slevin, thanks for the follow again to Reddit, or follow me on Twitter at RedBaronMTG. Let's talk more.
Yep.